The field of strength and conditioning is extremely dynamic and always changing. We understand that time is of the essence, and athletics are more competitive than ever. The one constant in our profession is the client. Our number one goal at Peak Performance is to make each and every individual stronger, faster, and more powerful in whatever sport or fitness level they choose to participate in. We take pride in offering both personal and team instruction, attention to the smallest details, and challenging the positive and encouraging environment. The sport-specific training regimens are preventative in nature. As strength and conditioning professionals, we are entrusted with the care and guidance of individuals from across the country and even some elite world-class athletes. At Peak Performance, we not only improve your athletic performance, but we also focus on instilling confidence and an overall sense of well-being that carries over to everyday life. Give us a call at 515-577-7901 or visit us on the web at peakperformancesportstraining.com.
Hey, hon, what you doing with your phone? Taking pictures?
No, I'm asking it questions.
Like what?
Hey, Bobo, do flowers have best friends?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, follow me. I want to show you something. Look, flowers do have best friends.
Whoa.
Some answers can only be found in nature. Discover the unsearchable. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a trail near you. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Spencer Bohm with you here, just a few minutes away from first pitch between the Carroll Merchants and the Des Moines Peak Prospects here live in Rippey, Iowa. We'll be back in just a few minutes for more pregame coverage live on Mixlr and YouTube. If you're listening on Mixlr, I will post the link to the YouTube stream in the comments.
Here's farmer and landowner John Prue.
We purchased the land about 3 years ago, and there was an old farmstead on there with trees. We were going to clear the land so we could farm through it. We thought we knew where the pipe was, so we didn't call to get it located. The work on our property led to the damage of a light crude pipeline. Fortunately, no one was hurt, but it could have been much worse.
Never assume the location or depth of underground lines. Always call 811 or visit clickbeforeyoudig.com before you start work. A message from the Pipeline Operators for Ag Safety campaign.
Remember the last time your family visited the forest? It's a place of wonder and imagination for the whole family, where stories come to life, and it's closer than you think. Ready to plan your next visit? Make the forest part of your story today at a local park near you, or find one at discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Unlike other health concerns, mental illness is not always easy to see. Depression won't show up on an eye chart, and you won't find PTSD by looking at a thermometer. Sorting out a mental health concern takes professional diagnosis and treatment. Anxiety won't just go away under a bandage. If you or a loved one has a mental health concern, call 1-800-662-HELP for free and confidential information and treatment referral. Learn more at samhsa.gov/support.
Reminder, we're just a few minutes away from first pitch between Carroll and Des Moines. It's Mink League action in Rippey, Iowa at Walt Anderson Field. Carroll coming into today with a 14-12 record, 3-0 against the Peak Prospects. Those 3 games were during the first 5 matchups of the season. All 3 were wins for Carroll. Des Moines started the season out 0-5, but has been able to turn it around 12-11. Peak Prospects, though, have lost 3 of their last 4 coming into the day, looking for their first win against the Merchants. The 2 teams opened the season at Carroll back in late May and have played a couple of times since then. Spencer Bone with you here. We'll have your first pitch starting lineups weather in just a moment. This has been the Peak Pregame Show on the Peak Prospects Sports Network.
To protect her home and family in a disaster, Karen was willing to wade through water, mud, and insurance paperwork.
Yeah, I can do this.
You go, Karen! By simply understanding and updating what her insurance covers and doesn't cover now, she'll be better prepared no matter when disaster strikes. Learn other simple ways to protect your home and family before a natural disaster at ready.gov. That's ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council. To protect.
Why was the basketball court all wet? Because the players kept dribbling on it.
The dad joke. Corny, groan-worthy, but also one of the simplest ways to share a moment with your kids.
What did the buffalo say when he dropped his son off at school? Bye, son.
So take a moment to make your kid laugh, because dad jokes rule. Make your kid laugh today. Go to fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Farming is dangerous. There's dangers all around. Sensitized to what's around us.
We go through safety training and, we try and do these things to make sure accidents don't happen, but you just never know.
There are so farmers that I think take for granted all of the underground utilities that are there.
You don't want to hit a gas pipe because that's your life. The other part of it is if you hit certain things, you're liable for it.
I mean, we kind of know what's out here, but all at the same time, you just always call.
Farm Safe 811 starts with you. Whether you're installing drain tile or doing any sort of digging, always call 811 and wait for any underground lines to be marked and have the depth confirmed. That's farming with care. But if a line does get damaged, go somewhere safe and call 911.
Always keep safety in the back of your mind. Just stay humble.
For more information, go to farmsafe811.org.
54. Too late to start saving for retirement, right?
Not right. Starting to save, even in your 50s, can really make a difference.
Right now, saving seems hard to wrap my head around.
AARP makes it easy. aceyourretirement.org and chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach. It's free and only takes 3 minutes.
I like 3 minutes.
Answer some questions and get personalized tips to help boost your retirement savings.
Thanks.
Just head to aceyourretirement.org. That's aceyourretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
If you love them enough to turn off your music and pretend like their music is your music,
This is Mommy's jam.
then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Let's play it again.
Check today at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Well, here we are again, and I got to tell you, Jim, this match has me really concerned.
Here we have a powerful heavyweight, a train, weighing in at 6,000 tons. And this hasty lightweight challenger, a car, at just 1.5 tons.
This does not bode well for the car or the people in it.
It's no contest. Every day, people are injured or killed trying to beat a train at rail crossings. See tracks, think train.
The field of strength and conditioning is extremely dynamic and always changing. We understand that time is of the essence, and athletics are more competitive than ever. The one constant in our profession is the client. Our number one goal at Peak Performance is to make each and every individual stronger, faster, and more powerful in whatever sport or fitness level they choose to participate in. We take pride in offering both personal and team instruction, attention to the smallest details, and challenging the positive and encouraging environment. The sport-specific training regimens are preventative in nature. As strength and conditioning professionals, we are entrusted with the care and guidance of individuals from across the country and even some elite world-class athletes. At Peak Performance, we not only improve your athletic performance, but we also focus on instilling confidence and an overall sense of well-being that carries over to everyday life. Give us a call at 515-577-7901 or visit us on the web at peakperformancesportstraining.com.
Text and whatever. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Time now for your starting lineups. We'll go offensively with Carroll to start and defensively for Des Moines. Leading off for the Merchants, number 1, playing shortstop, number 6, Andrew Schroeder. Batting second, number 3, playing in center field, Michael Alt. Batting fifth, playing third base, playing third base, number 5, Parker Ingram. Batting fourth and playing in left field, number 10, Caleb Freeman. Batting fifth, playing second base, number 4, Jordan Mathewson. Batting sixth and catching, number 12, Noah Buss. Designated hitter, number 9, Rochester. Batting eighth, playing first base, number 7, Brett Hopeness. And batting ninth and playing in right field, number 2, Kyle Berg. Des Moines will have Nick George's brother, Ben George, pitching on the mound today from Ontario, Canada. His first appearance with the team just joined a few days ago. The catcher is Diego Morales, who made his debut with the team yesterday. First, second, and third, Nick Prater, Taichi Nakao, and Eli Collins. Shortstop is Leighton Jenkins. And in the outfield, left to right, Cole Yearsley, Bryce Hall, and Rhett Zelensky. Des Moines is coached by Carl Fensroy and assisted by Blake Peterson and Aaron Eshelman. Jonathan Boucher and Michael Leader lead the way for the Merchants. Our pregame weather, 84 degrees is the feel like. It is currently 84 degrees, very sunny out. Some clouds to our west, but predominantly sunny. It'll drop down to 81 at 8 p.m. We should have a clear night tonight, 77 at 9 p.m. and 73 degrees at 10 p.m. The wind was at about 7 miles per hour when I pulled this forecast up on weather.com, not a sponsor. 56 feet, and left field is 300 feet. A pleasant evening to all of you who may be watching or listening today. We are live on Mixlr. We are also live on YouTube. If you are listening on Mixlr, you can catch the link in our chat or just go to youtube.com and look up Des Moines Peak Prospects versus Carroll Merchants. It should show up for you. We're live in Rippey, Iowa, Walt Anderson Field. And as I mentioned just a moment ago, the starting pitcher for Des Moines making his first appearance, Ben George, the brother of Nick George, who will be playing DH today for the Peak Prospects. And is Andrew Schroeder, the shortstop, right-handed batter at the plate for Carroll as this one misses up high for ball 1.
2 p.m. with a game time temperature of 84 degrees.
First pitch is 7:02 tonight. Ground ball hits the gap between shortstop and third, and Jenkins mishandled it on the way.
Next up, the center fielder, number 3, Michael
And Schroeder with a leadoff single to get things started. He's on the board. Michael Alt to the plate, playing center field today. Last time these teams met was back in early June in Carroll. That was the 5th loss of the year for the Peak Prospects during their 0-5 start. They've since improved to 12-11. Outside to Alt, 1-0 to start the at-bat. He is a left-handed batter, and that right field pole is 266 feet. We had a home run here in the first game played that bounced off the roof of somebody's garage across the street next to the field. George misses the zone, 2-0. Schroeder on first, scoreless here in the top of the first with no outs. The 2-0. Instead, they'll check on the runner at first. He's safe. Prater playing at first base right now for the Peak Prospects. It was Nick George yesterday in the walk-off loss at Joplin. Take that back. It was St. Joseph. Went to the 10th inning. Des Moines scored 2 runs to take a 6-4 lead in the top of the 10th, but surrendered 3 in the bottom of the 10th, including a walk-off single from Jack Wagner. Strike 1 is called. 2-1 to the left-handed batter, Alt, with Schroeder on first. They try the pickoff again, but not even close to tagging out the runner, Schroeder, at first. A beautiful, beautiful day for baseball in Rippey. About an hour, give or take, from Des Moines. 3 balls, 1 strike. The hitters count to Alt at the plate as Nick George makes his first appearance on the mound. Just joined the team a few days ago. Once again, trying to pick off the runner at first. 3rd time they've done that today, but missed again. The 3-1. And foul beyond the right field line. Three and two. Alt from Lewis University. Quick conversation between Diego Morales and Ben George. Morales appeared as the catcher in the 10th inning last night. Here's the pitch. Runner goes. It doesn't matter. It was ball 4. Schroeder is safe on second. Alt on first. So a leadoff single and a walk on a full count. Runners on first and second were scoreless here in the top of the first. Carroll will bring up Parker Ingram, the third baseman, right-handed batter for the first time today. Wind blowing right to left in the outfield. The pitch. Missed the low outside corner. It's ball 1. So you have Ben George playing pitcher. His brother Nick will be the DH today, so they will not play at the same time. Line foul towards the Carroll dugout. 1 ball, 1 strike to Ingram. No outs right now. First 2 bases have runners on for Carroll. Merchants wearing blue jerseys with white pants and white numbers. Upstairs 2-0. Or 2-1, pardon me. And Des Moines wearing fade tops, black on the top with a gradient to white on the bottom with black numbers with outlines and white pants. One of their 2 home venues. They play the majority of their home games at Boone. Grounded foul to the left, 2-2 on Ingram as the Peak Prospects look for their first out defensively today against Carroll. The 2-2 flown into foul territory. That's actually a pop-up into foul territory and caught on the play for the force out by the third baseman, Eli Collins.
For the Merchants, left fielder number 10, Caleb Freeman.
That might have actually been Jenkins, the shortstop, who went running for it. Either way, it's a pop out number one. Runners on first and second, a foul out, if you will. And Freeman, the left-handed batter, first time we'll see him today. Caleb Freeman playing in left field for Carroll. We're tied at 0, top of the first, one out. Runners on first and second for the Merchants. The pitch. Runner goes. The tag is not applied in time. And Schroeder runs from second to third. Alt stays on first. Runners at the corners for Carroll. And a 1-0 count to Freeman to start the at-bat. So Schroeder with the stolen base. Tied at 0, top of the first. One out. Here goes the 1-0. Missed. 2-0. The throw to first, not in time. Alt, your runner on first, is safe. Mathewson would be the next batter for Carroll. Here in the top of the first. 2-0 count to Freeman. Check on the runner again, but just like last time, he's safe. That was a pickoff attempt to first. Alt is your runner there. Your defender there is 35, Nick Prater. 2-0 remains the count. The pitch. 3-0. Here's the 3-0. And it is fouled in the air, out of play, 3 up, 1 down. Freeman retains the hitter's count. With runners at the corners and 1 out for Carroll in the top of the first. If you're just joining us, we're live on Mixlr and YouTube. If you're listening on Mixlr, which is our normal home for games, go to the chat. You'll find the link for YouTube. Fouled on the liner to left, full count on Freeman. Trying to stream as many home games on YouTube as I can. So far, it's been relatively successful. As I told a couple people, it's a very rudimentary broadcast. Have a $35 webcam from Walmart, but it works, I think. Here's the 3-2 to the left-hander. It's on the way. Missed it outside, and the bases are loaded. Alt will head over to second. Schroeder stays at third. Freeman to first.
The second baseman, number 4, Jordan Mathewson.
Jordan Mathewson to the plate. Foul ball, 0-1 to start the at-bat for second baseman Jordan Mathewson from Buena Vista University, 5'7". Left-handed batter, 5th batter faced today. We're tied at 0 with 1 out, bases loaded in the top of the first. Ben George on the mound for the Peak Prospects. Still scoreless. Here's the 0-1. Fly ball right field. That'll drop for a base hit and score at least 2 runs. Here goes Schroeder. He'll score. Alt will score. Freeman will stop at third. It's an RBI double for Jordan Mathewson to put Carroll up 2-0 with 1 out in the top of the first.
Next up, the catcher, number 12, Noah Buss.
Noah Buss will head up to the plate. You have runners on second and third. That's Mathewson and Freeman. And Noah Buss, who played at Sioux Falls this year, will head up to the plate. Now he'll look at strike one, 0-1 to start the count to Noah Buss. The 2-0 Carroll, 1 out. Top of the first. One up, one down. Fly ball, deep left. And in left field, Yearsley to make the catch. Freeman will tag, run, and score. It's 3-0 Carroll. 2 outs. Mathewson stays put at second. He's now the only base runner for Carroll. Buss with the RBI sac fly.
Coming to the Merchants, the designated hitter, number 9, Jacob Rochester.
And Rochester, the DH, left-handed batter to the plate. Wise to play as many left-handed batters as you can when the right field pole is 266 feet away from home plate. Looks at the outside pitch, 1-0. Potential to be a high-scoring game today. The last one played here was 15-3, but Des Moines punched out 5 home runs, including a grand slam. Ground ball stays fair. Prater picks it up, trots over to first, tags the bag with his foot, but 7 batters used, and Carroll generates 3 runs to take a 3-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the first here on Mixler and YouTube.
Answer true or false. Radon is a radioactive gas. True.
I didn't know that, no.
True or false? The Office of the Surgeon General recommends that all homes be tested for radon. True, your home should be tested. True or false? Radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer. True.
I'm going to dial the number and call.
1-800-SOS-RADON.
Keep your family safe from radon. Call now.
1-800-SOS-RADON.
Let's give you the offensive starters for the Peak Prospects. They're down 3-0 here heading into the bottom of the first in Rippey, Iowa. Leadoff batter is number 1, Taichi Nakao, and he is playing second base. The second batter will be Eli Collins playing third base. Playing in left field, batting third is Cole Yearsley. Designated hitter is Nick George, whose brother Ben is pitching today for Des Moines. First baseman is Nick Prater, batting fifth. And then batting sixth is the shortstop, Leighton Jenkins. Batting seventh is the right fielder, Red Zelensky. Batting eighth, the catcher, Diego Morales, his start of the year. And batting ninth, playing center field, is Bryce Hall. Carroll's defense, the pitcher today is 23, Seth Christensen. The catcher is Noah Buss. First, second, and third, Brett Hoekness, Jordan Mathewson, Parker Ingram. Shortstop is Andrew Schroeder. Left field to right field. And the outfield is Caleb Freeman, Michael Alt, and Kyle Berg. Carroll used a combination of 2 hits, 2 walks, and an RBI sacrifice fly to take a 3-0 lead. It started with the RBI double from Jordan Mathewson that scored Alton Schroeder from second and third. And they lead this one 3-0. Let's see what Seth Christensen will bring to the table for Carroll. Played at Dakota Wesleyan this year. This Carroll team is 14-12 on the year. We'll give you a full profile of each pitcher and their stats after this one, although we don't have any stats for Ben George since this is his first start. So guess I might as well just tell you now the pitching stats for Christensen. 9 innings, 2 appearances, 1 start on the year, 5 hits, 1 run, none earned, 4 walks, 7 strikeouts. So Taichi Nakao, right-handed batter from Auckland, New Zealand, heads up to the plate. Des Moines is down 3-0 here in the bottom of the first. First pitch to Nakao goes upstairs, 1-0. McCow looks at ball 2. That one appeared to also stay upstairs. So as mentioned previously, Christensen hasn't seen a whole lot of time this season. Out of 26 games, just 9 innings as he misses inside 3-0. Both starting pitchers today combined 9 Mink League innings this season. Ball 4 is the indication. We have the leadoff runner on first, Taichi Nikau. Eli Collins, the right-handed batter from Laurel, Mississippi, north of Hattiesburg, which is where Southern Miss is. He heads up to the plate here at Walt Anderson Field in Rippey, Iowa. Small town northwest of Perry, off of State Highway 144. So Des Moines down 3-0, no outs, as Christensen finally able to catch what is the outside of the zone for strike 1 on Eli Collins. Collins and the starting shortstop today, Leighton Jenkins, both played at East Central Community College in Mississippi this year. Jenkins is from Collinsville. Fly ball, shallow. Nope, it's a pop-up. Take that back. It's a pop-up at the second baseman. Jordan Mathewson scoots towards first base. Stops about 15 or 20 feet away to make the catch. That's one out. Taichi Nikau stays on first. So Collins with the P4. Cole Yearsley, the left fielder, to the plate. Des Moines down 3-0 with 1 out, 1 runner on base. Aaron Eshelman coaching first base for the Peak Prospects. Carl Fensroy at third. As we await the pitch, and it is fouled back 0-1 by Cole Yearsley. Yearsley leads the team with 3 home runs on the season. He had 2 of them here when Des Moines played Clarinda during the only other game that's been played at this ballpark so far for the Peak Prospects. This ballpark lay dormant for several years, and a group of dedicated individuals revived it, and they've been playing high school ball here. They're playing a few Mink League games here for Des Moines. A lot of fantastic history behind this ballpark. 1-1 is the count. Some local news stations in Des Moines have done some good stories on that. If you've got some time, be sure to check those out. But that's the basic premise, though, is that as Yearsley grounds it behind him, foul 1-2 with Nikau on first, 1 out against Des Moines. Big Prospects looking for their first run of the day. The 1-2, Yearsley. And that one went behind. He did not foul tip it like I thought he might have. That's ball 2, and Nikau will run to second.
Hey, what's up, Coach? All right.
The 2-2, Yearsley grounds it foul. Looks like he damaged his bat as well as he was walking away from home plate. He'll get a new one from Eshelman. With a 2-2 count at the plate, 1 out runner on second right now for Des Moines, looking for its first run. Down 3-0 in the bottom of the first inning. The pitch, Yearsley swings and misses. Strike 3. And Nick George, the DH, to the plate.
Hitter number 19, Nick George.
George has had a couple home runs this year. If I recall correctly, he had the one that bounced off the garage. I'd have to double check that, but that was here at Rippey.
I'll shape it up a little bit. Yeah. Okay. We're officially neighbors. Right. You guys again, huh?
2 outs. Nikau on second. Des Moines down 3-0. George to the plate, left-handed batter. Prater would be your next batter as George flies it beyond the left field foul line. It will go into the warning track, but dropped. Either dropped or just plain not caught by the left fielder, Caleb Freeman. Got lost from my vision behind some of his teammates. So it's 0-1, long story short, for Nick George, the DH. His brother Ben pitching today for the Peak Prospects in his first appearance with the team. George has been with the team all season from Sarnia, Ontario, Canada. His parents came to a couple of games this week, had the chance to meet them. Some very friendly people. The 0-1, missed it inside. 1 ball, 1 strike to even the count with 2 outs. Christensen unloads the break even, but the umpire calls time. So that keeps the count at 1-1. Nakau on second. There's a break even. Called strike 2. Beautiful piece of pitching from Christensen. 1 strike away from retiring the inning. The 1-2. Outside. Count is even. 2-2, 2 outs with a runner on second for the Peak Prospects. Here's the pitch. Flown, deep left. Freeman underneath, makes the catch. The inning is over. Des Moines strands a runner, no hits. No runs scored, down 3-0 as we head to the top of the second with Carroll leading 3-0.
If you love them enough to listen to them practice the same song on tuba,
Please be done.
over and over and over and over and over, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Sounds good, honey.
Check today at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
We are back, and we are looking at a pretty lopsided matchup, Jim.
That's right, Ron. I mean, in one corner, we've got a 175-pound guy, and in the other, a 6,000-ton heavyweight train.
Jim, this guy has no idea what he's getting himself into.
It's no contest. Every day, people tempt fate and die trespassing on railroad tracks. See tracks, think train.
3-0 Carroll lead. We head to the top of the second. Carroll will have its 8-9-1. Hoeknes, Berg, and Schroeder. Spencer Bone with you here on this gorgeous evening. The sun getting covered by a little bit of cloud cover, but it is a predominantly clear sky out there, so that's just some of the clouds out in the west right now. Should be a beautiful Iowan sunset in Rippey.
Number 7, Brett Hoeknes.
Ben George back to the mound for the Peak Prospects. Allowed 2 hits and 2 walks in the first. So 3-0. Here's Hoeknes at the plate for the first time today. As the pitch outside, 1-0. Hoeknes played at Iowa Central Community College this year. Here's the 1-0. Called low, 2-0. Liner to right field, and the diving grab missed by Zielinski. Base hit. That's a single running to second, and safe on the play is Hoeknes. He had the option to stop at first. Probably should have, but they couldn't quite throw him out. So a leadoff double for Brett Hoeknes, third hit of the day for the Merchants. And Berg to the plate. First time we've seen Kyle Berg played at Concordia this year. Bats with his left. 3-0 Carroll, runner on second, no outs. And the top of the second, ball one on the first pitch to Berg.
Yeah, Kyle!
The 1-0. The inside part of the zone, 1 ball, 1 strike. Foul to the side, 1 up, 2 down.
Yeah, Kyle!
Outside, count even. George looks back at second, opts not to throw. Schroeder will be your next batter. He had a leadoff single in the top of the first. Berg at the plate with an even count. George way outside, full count. The payoff. Ball 4. And runners on first and second for the Merchants.
Now batting for the Merchants, shortstop number 6, Andrew Schroeder.
So Berg to first, Hoeknes to second, Andrew Schroeder to the plate. For the second time today, he scored on that double from Mathewson. 4 batters after the leadoff single to start the game. So 3-0 Carroll, no outs. Assistant coach Blake Peterson will head up for a mound visit with pitcher Ben George from Ontario, Canada, in his first appearance with the Peak Prospects today, or of the season, I should say. So the Merchants have Berg on first, Hoeknes on second, Schroeder at the plate. They lead 3-0 already. All 3 runs were scored in the top of the first. It's the top of the second. There are no outs. Your force outs are obviously third, second, and first. Home plate umpire headed up to the mound to break up the conversation. Peterson will head back to the dugout. Catcher Morales and pitcher George still chatting. And now Morales back behind home plate. 3-0 Carroll, runners on first and second. Top of the second. Merchants have Schroeder at the plate. Ball in the dirt off the glove of Morales. No runners will advance. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Caught the outside low corner. 1-1. Two and one. Peak Prospects have lost 3 of their last 4. They fell at Clarinda 6-2, played a doubleheader 2 nights later against Chillicothe, won the first one 3-1. They were walked off 4-3 in the bottom of the 7th and final inning of the 2nd, and then walked off in the bottom of the 10th at St. Joseph. Here's a hit to left of center field. Running around, Hocus. Oh, he stopped at third, thought he was going to go, but good response by the defense. That said, the bases are loaded. Berg to second. Schroeder to first off of his second hit of the day, making him 2 for 2. You got Michael Alt, who walked, later on scored, to the plate. And now Coach Carl Fensroy heads up to the mound for a pitching change. So Ben George's debut at the Peak Prospects is over in the top of the 2nd. Carroll leads 3-0 with the bases loaded and no outs when we come back.
My Shiro doesn't always wear a cape, but she always has time for a hug, a smile, for going the extra mile. My Shiro stretches every dollar, puts in long hours, puts others first. But now it's your time, Mom. When you're ready to retire, we want you to be able to enjoy it. Get free tips to help boost your retirement savings now at aceretirement.org.
A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
I'm Fuad Reves, a home builder. Did you know there's a deadly, invisible radioactive gas that can seep into homes from underground? It's radon. Breathing radon can cause lung cancer. So protect your family. Talk to your builder. Tell them you want a healthier, safer, radon-resistant home.
Learn more. Visit the EPA at epa.gov/radon. That's epa.gov/radon. This public service announcement is brought to you by the EPA, who does not endorse this particular builder or any other commercial enterprise.
Bases loaded, 3-0. Carroll, top of the 2nd. The Merchants are batting, and the Peak Prospects have brought in their second pitcher of the day, Owen Brock, number 13, who pitched at Mount Mercy College. Freshman right-hander heads up to the mound. He pitched last night, briefly, walked 3 batters. They replaced him with Ben Craven, who would play the rest of the game. So he still has a relatively fresh arm going into today. So we take a look at Owen Brock's stats. He's had 7 appearances with 1 start, 2 on record. Pitched in 11 2/3. 16 runs, 14 earned. He's had 16 strikeouts, 19 walks on the season. For the Peak Prospects, who are 12-11 entering today. So Carroll's got the bases loaded. Up to the plate is Michael Alt for the 2nd time today. Schroeder just singled. And Brock on the mound for the Peak Prospects. Bases loaded, no outs. 3-0 Carroll. Alt, who walked in the previous inning, awaits the first pitch. Brock unloads and called strike 1. A beauty on the outside part of the corner of the zone, 0-1. Your runners are Schroeder on first, Berg on second, and Hoekness on third. It's an 0-1 count with no outs to start. Here's the pitch. Upstairs and away, 1-1. Brock is from Clive, Iowa. That is a suburb town of Des Moines. Just outside 2-1.
Here you go, O.
Here we go, fish!
The 2-1 breaks outside. Hitters count to Alt. A ball would score the fourth run of the day for Carroll.
Here you go, O.
Brock will not be charged with any runs that score from the three current base runners, as those were attributed to the starting pitcher, Ben George. Ball 4, and Carroll leads 4-0 as Hoeknes heads home to score. And that's the kind of day it's been so far. Top of the second, 4-0. Bases remain loaded with no outs. Carroll leads. So Alt on first off the walk, Schroeder on second, Berg on third. And here's Parker Ingram, who fouled out in the top of the first, the number 3 batter, the 5th of the inning for Carroll. Flies it to shallow right. Red Zelensky, the right fielder, coming up to make the catch. No runners will advance. Oh, no, somebody just ran off second base. That's Schroeder. He's caught between the bases. Berg is running from third. They could tag him out, too. Oh, this is wild. They'll tag Berg out. They got him. Now, Schroeder is safe on third, but fantastic defense. Schroeder had a large lead on second. They tried to tag him out, and then Hoeknes thought, Berg thought, hey, maybe I can score. And fantastic defensive communication by the Peak prospect. Now, that said, there's one out. Bases 2 and 3 still have runners on as Alt did advance on the flyout. Freeman to the plate. 0 for 0. He's walked today. Take that back. There's actually 2 outs.
No, there's one. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, you're right.
Which would make sense because of the fly and the tag. I failed to remember both of those. Well, so that's even better because now you don't have to worry about runners tagging on a flyout. The pitch to Freeman outside, 1-0.
Go out.
Reminder that Owen Brock subbed in 2 batters ago, replacing the starting pitcher, Ben George.
Yeah, David planted some. He said he got 45 bags. That's 25 acres.
2-0. Freeman from Flowery Branch, Georgia. There's a few Georgia natives on this Carroll roster. Now has a 3-0 count. And called ball 4 to load the bases, just barely missed the zone. So you've got Freeman on first.
Next up, the second baseman, number 4, Jordan Matthewson.
Alt on second.
Looking good, O.
Schroeder on third. Which is correct. Because both Berg was tagged out between home plate and third. Hoeknes scored on a bases loaded walk. All right, 4-0 Carroll, 2 outs, top of the second. Pitch goes well outside, 1-0 to start the at-bat for Matthewson. Ball 2, 2-0. Matthewson from La Vista, Nebraska, which is west of Omaha. Came in batting .304 on the season. He looks at ball 3.
Right around it.
Ball would score another run. Carroll leads 4-0, 2 outs. Ball 4 is the call. 5-0 Carroll. Freeman to second, Alt to third. Berg make that Schroeder scores. Mathewson to first. 5-0 Carroll, 2 outs top of the second. The bases remain loaded. Noah Buss generated an RBI sacrifice fly in the top of the first. He came in batting .293 on the season. Starting catcher for Carroll, left-handed batter. Seventh, make that the 8th batter of the inning. Breaking ball, ball 1. Mike Bonner warming up in the bullpen, 2-0.
Let's go. Let your D work here.
The 2-0. Brock misses downstairs, 3-0.
You got it, O.
Reminder, the bases are still loaded with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Called strike 1. Brock went downstairs again this time, but caught the bottom of the zone. 3 up, 1 down with the bases loaded. 2 outs. Carroll up 5-0, top of the second. And Buss at the plate.
You have 30 or 40 games.
Missed it downstairs. 6-0 Carroll. That'll score Michael Alt, bring Freeman to third, Mathewson to second, and Buss to first on the walk.
Designated hitter Jacob Rochester.
And Rochester, the number 7 batter on the order, and the 9th of the inning here in the top of the second. We'll head up to the plate after this quick conversation between Morales and the second pitcher used today for Des Moines, Owen Brock. It's 6-0 Carroll with 2 outs. Bases remain loaded.
The other kind you get. All the MIBL, and then we got some youth coming
That away.
Strike 1 called on Rochester, 0-1 to start the at-bat. Reminder of your base runners, Buss on first, Mathewson on second, Freeman on third. As Carroll has scored 3 runs in the first 2 innings each to make it 6-0. Swing and a miss, 0-2.
I put some of those hot dogs in here because they were apart.
Outside 1 and 2.
We'll go by these and see how these drop.
The 1-2 chopped up into the air. The throw across the first is in. No, it's dropped. Score that a base hit for Rochester. He's on first.
Next up, the first baseman, number 7, Brett Holtness.
Buss to second, Mathewson to third. Freeman scores. 7-0 Carroll with 2 outs in the top of the second. It's Brett Holtness, second time to appear at the plate in the inning. He scored. after his leadoff double. 2-0 to Hokeness. Breaking ball called strike one. You have Rochester on first. Bus on second. Fly ball foul. Zelensky looking for it. Out of play. 2-2. The 2-2. Called strike three. Beautiful pitch there from Owen Brock for the strikeout, and that ends the side. Carroll does lead 7-0 heading into the bottom of the second.
The field of strength and conditioning is extremely dynamic and always changing. We understand that time is of the essence, and athletics are more competitive than ever. The one constant in our profession is the client. Our number one goal at Peak Performance is to make each and every individual stronger, faster, and more powerful in whatever sport or fitness level they choose to participate in. We take pride in offering both personal and team instruction, attention to the smallest details, and challenging the positive and encouraging environment. The sport-specific training regimens are preventative in nature. As strength and conditioning professionals, we are entrusted with the care and guidance of individuals from across the country and even some elite world-class athletes. At Peak Performance, we not only improve your athletic performance, but we also focus on instilling confidence and an overall sense of well-being that carries over to everyday life. Give us a call at 515-577-7901 or visit us on the web at peakperformancesportstraining.com.
Well, we've played 49 minutes of baseball, and we're just getting ready to start the bottom of the second. We have the 5, 6, and 7, Prater, Jenkins, and Zelensky about to make their first plate appearances for the Des Moines Peak Prospects as Carroll leads this one 7-0. They used 3 hits, a barrage of walks, and scored 4 runs in the top of the second. Prater from Vancouver, Washington will head up to the plate. Played at Clark University in Dubuque, Iowa this past spring. Seth Christensen, your pitcher, starting pitcher for Carroll. It's 7-0 Carroll. Des Moines used 4 batters, had a walk from Nikau. He advanced to second on a pass ball. So here's Prater, the right-handed batter. Prater lets it go outside 1-0. Good eye, as it looked like he thought about swinging potentially. Lines it up high, deep left, and it lands for a leadoff base hit. First hit of the day as Prater will trot to second and stop there standing. Nick Prater is on second, 2 bases away from the Peak Prospects' first run as they're down 7-0, no outs with Leighton Jenkins from Collinsville, Mississippi, up to the plate. As I mentioned, he and Eli Collins both played at East Central Community College in Mississippi this spring. They've played with this team all season. Jenkins has Prater on second, no outs. The pitch upstairs, 1-0. Reminder of your dimensions at the wall. Your center field, 370 feet. Left field, 329 feet at the pole. Right field at the pole, just 266 feet. A pop-up into foul territory. And the first baseman comes up to make the catch. It's Brett Hokeness with the foul out. That's 1 out, and Prater remains on second. Red Zelensky, the right fielder, to the plate. Number 7 batter for the Peak Prospects, who are down right now 7-0 with 1 out in the bottom of the second. Zelensky from Brookings, South Dakota, played his sophomore season at William Penn this spring. That's an NAIA school west of Des Moines. Strike one called on the inside, 0-1 to start the at-bat to Zelensky. Prater is your runner on second for the Peak Prospects. Missed the 0-1, 1 up, 1 down. Checks his swing, but it is called. Strike 2 as that one looked to be close to the outside corner. 1-2, 1 out. A 1-2, swing and a miss. Zelensky retired on strikes. Second strikeout pitched by Christensen today. So Prater, who had the leadoff doubles on second. Jenkins and Zelensky have been retired. Des Moines down 7-0, and Diego Morales to the plate. Appeared with the team yesterday for the first time this season. Made the bus ride to St. Joseph and appeared towards the end of the game. He was the closing catcher in the 10th. And he looks at ball one with Prater on second. 1-0. Here's the 1-0. Upstairs 2-0. The 2-0. Grounded back foul. 2-1. Hall would be your next batter. Morales, the number 8 batter on the night for Des Moines. Bottom of the second. Local time is 6:56 p.m. Central Time in Rippey.
Okay, I will.
The 2-1. Morales fouls it again.
No, I'm just going to smoke a cigarette.
Morales steps outside the box to warm up briefly. It's 2-2, 2 away. Prater on second. The 2-2. Called strike 3. Morales retired. And the second inning is over. Des Moines maintains the 7-0 deficit. Carroll in the lead right now as we head to the top of the third on the Peak Prospects Sports Network.
If you love them enough to listen to them practice the same song on tuba,
Please be done.
over and over and over and over and over, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Sounds good, honey.
Check today at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I drive my bus in a busy city. That's why road safety is so important to me. I know that I must slow down and be extra careful when I make a wide turn. Buses need more room than cars. Everyone can help keep our roads safe. Next time you're driving, remember to give buses plenty of time and space to finish turning before driving ahead. Let's all plan to share the road safely. Learn how at www.sharetheroad.
Try to avenge the 6-2 loss from earlier this week at Clarinda. And then we have a doubleheader on July 4th against this same Carroll. That Carroll doubleheader is scheduled for 4:05 and 6:35 p.m. And speaking of Carroll, the Merchants right now have a lead of 7-0 against the Peak Prospects. Owen Brock remains on the mound. He subbed in during the second inning. We're in the top of the third. Kyle Berg to the plate. 10 batters were faced. Hokus had 2 plate appearances in the top of the second. As Berg swings and foul tips it for strike 1. He's the number 9 batter, so we have the 9, 1, and 2. Berg, Schroeder, and Alt leading off for Carroll. Berg, the lefty, looks at ball 1. Berg entered the game 227, as it's now 2 balls and 1 strike. He walked in his first plate appearance back in the second, but he was tagged out between third and home on a flyout. He now has a hitter's count 3-1 after the 2-1 pitch missed outside. No outs, no runners on for Carroll. Brock unloads, and ball 4 on Berg. He's on first. That'll bring Schroeder, who is 2 for 2 with 2 singles, and he has had 2 runs today as well. 7-0 Carroll, 1 base runner on. Here comes Coach Carl Fensroy. Should be a pitching change. Indeed it is. We'll learn more about the new pitcher when we come back on the Peak Prospects Sports Network. It is a 7-0 Carroll lead. Top of the third continues after this.
I've been driving trucks for a long time. Safety is my number 1 priority. I know that my truck has huge blind spots. That's why I remember to check my mirrors often for smaller vehicles. Everyone can help keep our roads safe. Next time you're behind the wheel, try to avoid lingering in those blind spots. It can be dangerous. Let's all plan to share the road safely. Learn how at www.sharetheroadsafely.gov.
Neil Armstrong waited 6 hours and 39 minutes to step onto the surface of the moon. Jackie Robinson waited 20 months to play his first game with the Brooklyn Dodgers. And even DiCaprio had to wait 22 years to win an Oscar. You can wait until your destination. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Mike Bonner pitched his freshman season at Coe College. He's a native of Des Moines, Iowa. Wears jersey 21, and he's the 3rd pitcher used today for the Peak Prospects, replacing Owen Brock with a base runner on first. As we take a look at Bonner's stats, this will be his 9th appearance. He has a 2-1 record. He's pitched in 18 2/3, allowing 20 hits, 12 runs, all earned, 9 walks, 11 strikeouts. His Ks per 9 is 5.3. Season ERA 5.79. 1 base runner on for Carroll. And Schroeder, who's 2 for 2, is up to the plate. 7-0 Carroll is the score as Schroeder looks at strike 1. Long series for the Peak Prospects. This is their 4th game in 3 days. They have 1 tomorrow and 2 on July 4th. Fouled, 0-2. Schroeder, the right-hander, has Berg on first. He walked before Brock was replaced. 0-2 count to Schroeder. Strike three, called. Beautiful pitch there from Bonner. Second strikeout today for the Peak Prospects pitching staff. That's one out. Schroeder's on first. Ingram to the plate, fourth batter. Sorry, Alt to the plate. Schroeder was retired, so third batter of the inning. Carroll leads 7-0, one out, runner on first, top of the third. Swing and a miss, 0-1.
She was just over there. He told her she walked over. She grabbed your Mary Poppins umbrella and she over here. Here we go,
You won. Missed it. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bonner missed the low inside corner, 2 up, 1 down. Two and 1. Bonner delivers. Hitters count 3 up, 1 down on Michael Alt. Alt entered the day batting .328. He's had 4 doubles on the year. 12 runs batted in. Strike 2 called. 3-2 on the outside part of the rectangle. Very close call. A full count. Bonner started the appearance with a strikeout, and that'll be a foul tip back. You can hear that bounce off the wire mesh here at Walt Anderson Field. Very historic grandstand here. I'm not sure exactly how old it is, but I was talking to somebody who played baseball here in Rippey back in the 70s. He told me this grandstand was still here. Another foul ball. 3-2 remains the count with Berg on first. 1 out. Carroll leading 7-0. Top of the third. Here's the payoff. Fly ball left of, just make that left field, and it's a shallow blooper, actually, for a base hit. And Alt is on the board with his first hit of the day after walking twice.
Next up for Carroll, third baseman number 5, Parker Ingram.
So you have Berg on second, Alt on first, 1 out. Carroll leads 7-0 in the top of the third. Parker Ingram, who's 0 for 2 today, heads up to the plate. A reminder for those of you listening on Mixlr, if you're not driving right now, we are live on YouTube. The link is in the chat on the Mixlr app for the YouTube stream. Lined into right field, and another base hit as it goes to the warning track and bounces off the wall. Berg heads to third. Second consecutive inning, and as many plate appearances on the day that Berg has made it all the way to third base. Alt goes to second. Bases are loaded with 1 out. And Carroll leading 7-0 in the top of the third.
Next up, the left fielder number 10, Caleb Freeman.
Caleb Freeman to the plate. Mike Bonner just subbed in a few at-bats ago as the third pitcher for the Peak Prospects in as many innings. Freeman briefly steps outside of the batter's box, the left-handed batter. Connor throws a breaker, but it's 1-0. Freeman entered the day batting a blistering .357. 14 runs batted in, 24 walks. It should be 26 now. I think he's walked twice. He's got a 2-0 count right now. On base percentage was .521 before first pitch. Slugging percentage .471. He has the bases loaded for Carroll with 1 out and a 2-0 count. Strike 1 called. Checked his swing, but it went through the zone. 2-1. The 2-1 called strike 2 downstairs. Count is even. Bases loaded. Ground ball goes past the arm of Prater, and second baseman Taichi Nakao, and a run scores. Berg heads home. It's 8-0 Carroll with 1 out in the top of the third.
Now batting for the Merchants.
So Freeman with the RBI
Jordan
single.
Mathewson.
Ingram to second. Alt to third. 1 out. Jordan Mathewson to the plate. He has a double for an RBI and a walk. A walk scored as well because the bases were loaded. That was back in the second. So Carroll has scored 3, 4, and 1 in innings number 1, 2, and 3. We're still working on the top of the third as Bonner tries to break it, but it's 1-0. Ground ball. Prater keeps it fair. Steps on the bag. Alt scores. 9-0 Carroll. Top of the third with 2 outs. Prater nearly lost it as it got away from him for a moment, but he picked it up.
Up next for the Merchants, catcher number 12, Noah Buss.
That's a sacrifice ground at RBI. Second RBI of the day for Mathewson. Third, actually, because he had 2 on the double. So 9-0 Carroll, top of the third. Buss, the catcher, to the plate with 2 outs. And base runners on second and third. That's Freeman and Ingram. And 1-0 to start the at-bat. Two 2-0. Grounder goes foul. 2-1. The 7th at-bat of the inning. There were 10 plate appearances in the previous inning. 7 in the first. Total of 24 plate appearances today for Carroll, and we're in the top of the third with 2 outs. Merchants lead 9-0. The pitch. Caught the zone outside, 2-2. Strike would end the side. Peak Prospects will have the 9-1-2. Hall, Nakao, and Collins to the plate. Full count on Buss, who has an RBI, sac fly, and a walk today. This is his 3rd plate appearance in as many innings. Shallow fly ball, left of center. Yearsley slows down to make the catch. Side is retired. Carroll tacks on 2 more runs, though, on 3 hits as we head to the bottom of the third. 9-0 Carroll.
Text and whatever. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
The field of strength and conditioning is extremely dynamic and always changing. We understand that time is of the essence, and athletics are more competitive than ever. The one constant in our profession is the client. Our number one goal at Peak Performance is to make each and every individual stronger, faster, and more powerful in whatever sport or fitness level they choose to participate in. We take pride in offering both personal and team instruction, attention to the smallest details, and challenging the positive and encouraging environment. The sport-specific training regimens are preventative in nature. As strength and conditioning professionals, we are entrusted with the care and guidance of individuals from across the country and even some elite world-class athletes. At Peak Performance, we not only improve your athletic performance, but we also focus on instilling confidence and an overall sense of well-being that carries over to everyday life. Give us a call at 515-577-7901 or visit us on the web at peakperformancesportstraining.com.
Bottom of the third, Des Moines down 9-0. They'll have the 9-1 and 2 Hall, Nakau, and Collins up to the plate. Carroll used 3 hits to help score 2 runs back in the top of the third. Seth Christensen remains on the mound for Carroll. This will be the first time we've seen Bryce Hall today playing center field for the Peak Prospects. 8:16 p.m. is the local time. Sun still shining out to the west. Looks like those clouds that were blocking it have moved away from the sun. So
Out the bottom half of the third inning for Peak, the center fielder, number 4, Bryce Hall.
Hall this season batting .235. 10 RBIs, 19 walks, 11 strikeouts. Swing and a miss. Starts his at-bat 0-1. One up, one down. Two and one. Merchants joined the Mink League this year. They had been in the league previously, but here's the 2-1. Called strike 2, 2-2. The 2-2. Hall looks at strike 3. Christensen has pitched 4 strikeouts today.
Number 3, Taichi
As we
Nakau.
continue the bottom of the third, Taichi Nakau up to the plate with Des Moines down 9-0. 1 out. Nakau walked in the first. Upstairs, ball 1 on the first pitch from Christensen for the at-bat. Christensen unloads the 1-0 in the dirt. Nakau did not go 2-0. Collins warms up in the on-deck circle. 3-0 to Taichi Nakau. This is his second plate appearance. Chance to walk in as many plate appearances. Called strike one on the outside. 3-1 to Taichi Nakao. No runners on. Des Moines with one out, looking for its first run of the day. And the 3-1 rings up ball four. And Nakao with his second walk today. Bottom of the third, one out. Des Moines down 9-0. Eli Collins up to the plate. Popped out to the second baseman, Mathewson. Back in the first. Collins drives it up high, left of center. Going, and it's caught by the center fielder, Michael Alt. The Prospects just cannot catch a break today. They're down 9-0. Here in the bottom of the third, Taichi Nakao on first base off the walk. 2 outs, Yearsley the left-hander. 3 home runs on the season to lead the Peak Prospects. Carroll will have it 7, 8, and 9. Rochester, Hoekness, and Berg to start the top of the fourth. Yearsley watches the first pitch go outside for ball one. Fourth batter of the bottom of the third for Des Moines. Another fly ball, very shallow left of center field. And the shortstop steps back to make the catch. Andrew Schroeder on the play.
In their half the third inning, no runs, no hits, no errors.
Side is retired. We head to the top of the fourth. Carroll leading 4-0.
If you love them enough to turn off your music and pretend like their music is your music,
This is Mommy's jam.
then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Let's play it again.
Check today at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Well, here we are again, and I got to tell you, Jim, this match has me really concerned.
Here we have a powerful heavyweight, a train, weighing in at 6,000 tons. And this hasty lightweight challenger, a car, at just 1.5 tons?
This does not bode well for the car or the people in it.
It's no contest. Every day, people are injured or killed trying to beat a train at rail crossings. See tracks, think train.
Fourth pitcher today for Des Moines, number 11, Jordan Sedovic, heads up to the mound. This is just the second time that he's pitched this season. Made a brief appearance very early on in the year with 1 strikeout in 1 inning. And he likes to tell all of us that he's got 27 Ks per 9, 27 strikeouts per 9 innings with an ERA of 0. Hopefully for him, he can keep that stat line going. 1/3 innings pitched. If you look at the stats, he's at the very bottom of the pitching stats. They organize it by how many innings you've pitched. So 1 strikeout and a K per 9 of 27 in 1 batter faced. All right, Jacob Rochester, Brett Hoekness, and Kyle Berg. The 7, 8, and 9 will head up for Carroll. The Merchants lead 9-0 as we start the top of the fourth with Jordan Sedovic, the 4th pitcher used today, to the mound for the Peak Prospects.
Your workshop, huh?
Here's the 1-0. And it's 2-0 to start the at-bat for Rochester. Has a ground out and a single today. Fouled away, 2-1. Carroll 14-12, Des Moines 12-11. Peak Prospects started the season 0-5. 3 of those games were against Carroll. This is the 4th time we've seen these teams meet and the first time since early June. The 2-1 to Rochester. Hitters count 3 up, 1 down. A ball away from bringing Hokeness to the plate for the 3rd time today. Ball 4 on the 3-1. Rochester with a free trip to first. And in the top of the 4th, it is a 9-0 Carroll lead with a runner on first and no outs. And Hokeness to the plate. He had 2 plate appearances. In the 2nd, he was the leadoff and then the 10th batter.
College games are worth since Carroll and
Beautiful piece of pitching there from Sedovic to start the count 0-1 as Hokeness looks.
well, whatever it is. She said she could work the 14th and the 16th. And I saw I didn't have my schedule from you in front of me. So that's why I wanted to ask you tonight.
Here's the 0-1. Bounces up to Morales. 1-1.
Okay. So you possibly could if she can.
Rochester, short, slow ground ball, but it goes foul. One and 2 on Hokeness here in the top of the 4th with no outs. The 1-2. Downstairs. 2 up, 2 down for the even count to Hokeness. Berg would be next. He has 2 walks today. The 2-2 brings up a full count. Upstairs, ball 4, and Hokeness to first. Rochester will make the trip to second.
Up next for the Merchants, right fielder number 2, Kyle Berg.
So the right fielder, Kyle Berg, will appear here in the top of the 4th. Carroll leading 9-0 with runners on first and second. And Sedovic, the 4th pitcher for Des Moines, pitches ball 1 on the first pitch of the at-bat. Swing and a miss from Berg, 1-1. 9-0, Carroll leading with no outs here in the top of the 4th. Berg looks at a ball, 2-1. Sedovic has played on the batting order a few times as well. I had mentioned earlier he had a third of an inning pitching entering the day, but as he goes inside 3-1. But he has played before. Three and one the count. Ball 4, bases loaded. Berg to first, Hopeness to second, Rochester to third.
Now batting the
No outs.
shortstop,
It is a
number 6,
9-0
Andrew
Carroll
Schroeder.
lead in the top of the fourth. And Andrew Schroeder, who's 2 for 3 today, heads up to the plate. Sedovic has played 6 games. He's listed on the roster as an outfielder, batting .231 on the year, obviously not on the batting order for this game. From Granger, Iowa, played at Northern State. And we'll start this at-bat for Schroeder with a 1-0 count. Schroeder's 4th plate appearance in 4 innings. He has Berg on first, Hopeness on second, Rochester on third. This one's batted on a grounder up the middle. Rochester will score, and it's 10-0 Carroll. Bases will remain loaded, and Carroll, top of the fourth, up by 10. No runs scored by the Peak Prospects yet. And Schroeder,
fielder number 3,
the
Michael
RBI
Alt.
single. He's now 3 for 4 on the day. Michael Alt up to the plate, 4th plate appearance today. Left-handed batter. Berg moves to second, Hopeness to third. And strike 1 is called on Alt. No outs. Alt rips it just foul beyond the left field line. 0-2 to start the at-bat. The 0-2. Ball 1. Grounder. Nical picks it up, flips it over. Well, actually steps on the bag and then throws to Prater. Runner is safe. Hopeness scores. It's 11-0 Carroll. I'll hang on 1 second. Hopeness is going back to third. Well, no. Let's see 1 second here what's going to happen. There are 2 outs up on the scoreboard. Hopeness remains on third. We have a runner on second. That's Berg. Runner on first is out.
Now batting third baseman number 5, Parker Ingram.
I'll ask the scorekeeper what the call was on that. The umpire said something, but I think I was talking at the time. I did not hear what it was. It's still 10-0 Carroll in the top of the fourth. Alt is retired, 2 outs. Runners on second and third for Carroll. Schroeder, I believe, was thrown out. As we have a ground ball to go past the third baseman, Collins. That'll score Hopeness and Berg. That makes it 12-0.
Next up,
2
left
outs.
fielder number 10, Caleb Freeman.
And Ingram to second. So Jordan Sedovic, he is your 4th pitcher. He started the inning. Three runs scored in the top of the fourth by Carroll. The Merchants, again, they lead 12-0 with 2 outs in the top of the fourth. Here's Caleb Freeman, the left-handed batter, to the plate. The pitch. Missed it, 1-0. Carroll, about 47 minutes from here. Short road trip for the Merchants. A few Carroll fans have shown up as well. A lot of lawn chairs beyond the first and third base lines. Near home plate. 2-0 to start the at-bat for Freeman. These teams play in 2 days, a doubleheader on July 4th in Carroll. The 2-0. Ground ball stays fair. Prater picks it up off a few hops and steps over to the bag at first for the ground out. But 7 batters faced. It's 12-0 Carroll going into the bottom of the fourth. Live on Mixer. We'll have the bottom of the fourth after this.
The field of strength and conditioning is extremely dynamic and always changing. We understand that time is of the essence, and athletics are more competitive than ever. The one constant in our profession is the client. Our number one goal at Peak Performance is to make each and every individual stronger, faster, and more powerful in whatever sport or fitness level they choose to participate in. We take pride in offering both personal and team instruction, attention to the smallest details, and a challenging but positive and encouraging environment. The sport-specific training regimens are preventative in nature. As strength and conditioning professionals, we are entrusted with the care and guidance of individuals from across the country and even some elite world-class athletes. At Peak Performance, we not only improve your athletic performance, but we also focus on instilling confidence and an overall sense of well-being that carries over to everyday life. Give us a call at 515-577-7901 or visit us on the web at peakperformancesportstraining.com.
What a fabulous day for the Carroll Merchants so far. Bottom of the fourth, they lead this one 12-0. They've scored 3, 4, 2, and 3 in the first 4 innings. And the pitcher, Seth Christensen, for the Merchants, heads up to the mound. Starting pitcher today. He has faced just 13 plate appearances for the Peak Prospects so far. And Nick George, whom we have not seen since the first inning, heads up to the plate. His brother Ben George started the game on the mound and was replaced in the second inning. Des Moines used 4 pitchers today. (12-0) bottom of the fourth. Peak Prospects looking for their first run as George looks at ball 1. 1-0 to start the plate appearance. It'll be the 4, 5, and 6, George, Prater, and Jenkins for the Peak Prospects as George goes for the swing, instead fouls it behind him. 1-1. George ground ball goes over to the second baseman, Mathewson. The throw in time to Hoekness at first with a 4-3 ground out. Prater up to the plate.
Prospects first baseman number 35, Nick Prater.
Prater had a leadoff double in the second. This is his second plate appearance of the evening. 8:37 p.m. local time. Sun still has not set. A gorgeous evening in Rippey, Iowa. About an hour or so from Des Moines. One out, no runners on. Des Moines down 12-0, bottom of the fourth. Prater lets it go by him, 1-0. (2-0) as the pitch goes behind the catcher, Noah Buss. Outside 3-0. Ball 4 on the 3-0 pitch to Prater. He heads over to first. One out. Des Moines down 12-0 here in the bottom of the fourth. Leighton Jenkins who fouled out in the second, is up to the plate. Jonathan Boucher, who coaches this Carroll team, pitched at Texas A&M Texarkana. It's an NAIA school in Texarkana, Texas, right across the border from Arkansas. Two towns there, Texarkana, Texas, and Texarkana, Arkansas. If you ever go downtown, there's a U.S. post office that is divided among the state line. 0-1 to start the at-bat to Jenkins as he flies it up shallow right. Kyle Berg, the right fielder underneath it, makes the catch. 2 outs. Prater on first for the Peak Prospects, down 12-0, bottom of the fourth. Brett Zelensky to the plate. He struck out swinging in the second. This is his second plate appearance here as we're in the bottom of the fourth. Right-handed batter awaits the pitch. And the count starts out 1-0 on Zelensky. Morales would be your next batter if Zelensky can advance. Inside, 2-0. Prater's had 2 plate appearances now. Both times he's advanced to a base. Double back in the second, walk in the fourth. He's on first right now. Zelensky at the plate with 2 outs. Now watches the strike, which is called for strike 1. The ball gets away on the throw from the catcher bust to Hoekness, but Prater makes the decision to stay on first. So still 2-1. 2 outs against the Peak Prospects. And the pitch will be called. Strike 2, 2-2 against Zelensky with a runner on first. Here's some fireworks out here as well. 4th of July right around the corner. Here's the 2-2. Ground ball. Zelensky goes over to the shortstop Schroeder. He flips it over to Mathewson. The second baseman steps on the bag at second for the out, and that retires the side. Des Moines still down 12-0. No hits in the inning. Top of the 5th is next.
Spent a lot of time in the garage, but even more time in the rain and mud. In '95, I helped tow your moving trailer. And in '09, it was sparks from me, your chains, dragging behind your truck that accidentally started a wildfire.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com, brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, hon, what you doing with your phone? Taking pictures?
No, I'm asking it questions.
Like what?
Hey, Bobo, do flowers have best friends?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that. Hey, follow me. I want to show you something. Look, flowers do have best friends.
Whoa.
Some answers can only be found in nature. Discover the unsearchable. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a trail near you. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
12-0 Carroll as we enter the top of the 5th. Local time 8:43 p.m. Central Time. This game started at 7:02. And for Carroll, it should be the 5, 6, and 7 Mathewson, Buss, and Rochester. As Jordan Sedovic remains on the mound, the 4th pitcher used today by the Peak Prospects.
Off the top half of the 5th inning for Carroll.
31 plate appearances today in the first 4 innings for Carroll. By comparison, the Peak Prospects have had 16. Jordan Mathewson, left-handed batter, up to the plate here on this Saturday evening in Rippey. And the first pitch on the way, 1-0. Now that it is the fifth inning, those of you may be wondering about a potential run rule, that comes in effect after 7 innings and a lead of 10 or more runs. And Sedovic will pitch strike 1, 1-1. Second pitching appearance of the season for Sedovic, who's listed as an outfielder. Pitched in a third of an inning in his first appearance. Here's the 1-1, 2-1. The 2-1. 3-1. Here's the pitch, called strike 2 on the outside of the zone. Full count on Mathewson. "3-2" is fouled back. Des Moines has not retired a leadoff batter today. Sedovic delivers the payoff, and he missed it, ball 4. It's now 5 leadoff batters that have advanced today for Carroll. Mathewson makes it to first. Buss will head up to the plate, the catcher.
Now batting the catcher, number 12, Noah Buss.
Looks like Garrett Freeman may be warming up here in the on-deck circle. Indeed, he is, from Iowa Western Community College. He'll replace Rochester. Left-handed batter, Buss at the plate with a runner on first. Carroll up 12-0, no outs, top of the 5th. 1-0 to start the at-bat to Buss. Buss grounds it straight to Prater, who will actually turn and throw to Jenkins and second, and the throw to first is in time for the double play. Good piece of defense there for the Peak Prospects. Garrett Freeman in the game. He replaces Rochester, who was the starting designated hitter. 2 outs. Carroll does still lead 12-0. And strike 1 called on Freeman here in the top of the 5th. The 0-1 outside, 1-1. Fly ball deep right. Zelensky underneath. Makes the catch. This side is retired. First inning that Carroll has not scored a run. That said, the Merchants do still hold a 12-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the 5th, live on Mixler.
To protect her home and family in a disaster, Karen was willing to wade through water, mud, and insurance paperwork.
Yeah, I can do this.
You go, Karen! By simply understanding and updating what her insurance covers and doesn't cover now, she'll be better prepared no matter when disaster strikes. Learn other simple ways to protect your home and family before a natural disaster at ready.gov. That's ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Unlike other health concerns, mental illness is not always easy to see. Depression won't show up on an eye chart, and you won't find PTSD by looking at a thermometer. Sorting out a mental health concern takes professional diagnosis and treatment. Anxiety won't just go away under a bandage. If you or a loved one has a mental health concern, call 1-800-662-HELP for free and confidential information and treatment referral. Learn more at samhsa.gov/support.
The bottom of the fifth is about to be underway. New pitcher for Carroll. We'll talk about him in just a moment, but quick reminder, it is 12-0 Carroll Merchants leading this one here on this Saturday night in Rippey, Iowa. Now for Carroll, it's Will Brander pitching from Morningside. Second pitcher used today. The right-hander, 2 appearances, 2 starts, 7 1/3 innings pitched with an ERA of 15.95 in that limited time played. It's allowed 18 hits, 14 runs, 13 earned, 7 walks, 6 strikeouts for a K/9 of 7.36. Peak Prospects today, quiet day offensively for them, just 1 hit and 3 walks. Diego Morales to the plate for the second time today. Made his debut with the team late in the game yesterday in that 7-6 walk-off loss in the 10th inning to St. Joseph. Here's the pitch, upstairs 1-0. So again, new pitcher for Carroll. Seth Christensen's day is done, and Will Brander on the mound. And 2-0 after Brander misdirects the 1-0 pitch. It's the 8-9-1 Morales, Hall, and Nakau. As this one, we batted foul 2-1. Morales watches the 2-1, stay upstairs, 3 balls, 1 strike. Morales struck out looking back in the second. We're here in the bottom of the fifth. The 3-1. Just missed outside, ball 4. And Morales is the 5th base runner of the day for the Peak Prospects. They're down 12-0, bottom of the 5th. Hall to the plate. He struck out looking back in the 3rd. Hall looks at the outside pitch, 1-0 to start the at-bat. That was the 14th walk of the season for Brander. 2-0. Goes low towards the dirt. He's now pitched 6 balls and a strike as he tries to calibrate in his 3rd appearance of the season. Runner on first for the Peak Prospects is Diego Morales. Taichi Nakau, the number 1 batter, would be next. And called strike 1 near the low outside corner. 2-1. See you later. Fly ball, right of center. Good catch there by Michael Alt, the center fielder heading towards the wall. Morales has to go back to first. Fly out by Bryce Hall. Couldn't quite fly it deep enough.
Baseman number 3, Taichi Nakau.
And Taichi Nakau to the plate for the Peak Prospects for the 3rd time today He's had 2 walks. Made it to second on a pass ball back in the first. Bottom of the 5th, Peak Prospects down 12-0 against the Carroll Merchants with 1 out and Morales on first. Here's the pitch. A cow rips it foul beyond the left field line. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball. Ball 1. Collins, your next batter for the Peak Prospects. He's in the on-deck circle. The cow flies it. Shallow center. Alt makes the catch for the second out. Still just 1 hit today for the Peak Prospects as Collins heads up to the plate with Des Moines down 12-0
Up next for Des
in the
Moines,
bottom of the
third
5th.
baseman number 9, Eli Collins.
Sorry. Oops.
First pitch missed, 1-0. A reminder that Carroll does have its second pitcher in Will Brander, number 30. Lights are on at the stadium. The sun just set a few minutes ago. It's 8:56 p.m. local time in Rippey, Iowa. Beautiful sunset once again. And the 1-0 is called strike 1 against Eli Collins, the native of Laurel, Mississippi. If Collins advances, Cole Earsley's day appears to be done, at least for now, because Sammy Cruz is warming up in the on-deck circle, the native of Brunswick, New Jersey. Here's the 1-1. Collins fouls it right back to the wire mesh. Look out. 1-2 with 2 outs. Here's the 1-2. Collins lifts it foul. Keeps the count at 1-2. Your runner on first is Diego Morales. 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. The pitch, and Collins with a grounder. Almost got it past the second baseman, Mathewson, but he flips it over to the shortstop, Schroeder, at second for the out.
For Peak in their half of the 5th inning, no runs, no errors, 1 runner
Peak
left.
Prospects
After 5
still down
Carroll
12-0. We go to the top of the 6th after this.
We are back, and we are looking at a pretty lopsided matchup, Jim.
That's right, Ron. I mean, in one corner, we've got a 175-pound guy, and in the other, a 6,000-ton heavyweight train.
Jim, this guy has no idea what he's getting himself into.
It's no contest. Every day, people tempt fate and die trespassing on railroad tracks. See tracks, think train.
Farming is dangerous. There's dangers.
54, so it's too late to start saving for retirement, right?
Not right. Starting to save, even in your 50s, can really make a difference.
Right now, saving seems hard to wrap my head around.
AARP makes it easy. Go to aceyourretirement.org and chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach. It's free and only takes 3 minutes.
I like 3 minutes.
Answer some questions and get personalized tips to help boost your retirement savings.
Thanks.
Just head to aceyourretirement.org. That's aceyourretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Des Moines has a new pitcher on the mound. We'll talk about him in just a second, but to update you on the score, it is 12-0 And Chad Herrera will be the new pitcher for the Peak Prospects, 5th pitcher of the day. Normally plays in the outfield. He's a routine left and right field starter, but he will be pitching, replacing Jordan Sedovic. Trying to check on the other defenders to see if we have any other defensive substitutions at this time. Macau is still your second baseman. Jenkins is still your shortstop. Morales still behind home plate. Collins, your third baseman. Prater, first base. Looks like Diego. Hang on one second.
Defensive changes for Peak. Now playing right field, number 26,
Sammy Cruz is playing in right field. Diego Morales is still the catcher. Yeah, I think that's it. Just Cruz in right field. Foul tipped back on the first pitch, 0-1 to start the at-bat for Brett Hoekness, who is at the plate. So that's Zelensky, who's been replaced. 0-1 to start the at-bat for Hoekness. Outside low, 1-1 as the ball
now
rolls
pitching
back.
number 7, Chad Herrera.
Des Moines down 12-0. Carroll batting here in the top of the 6th. Ground ball. Now Cal cannot make the diving save. Leadoff single, Brett Hoekness. It's now 2 for 3 on the day. Has a walk and a strikeout. And he's on first. And Berg heads up to the plate. That's 6 leadoff batters who have advanced on either walks or hits today for the Carroll Merchants. Berg to the plate. Looks at strike 1. Oh, just kidding. We do have a new batter out there. I cannot see his number at this time. It's number 13 for Carroll. Check on the roster. Should be Danny Schweitzer. As he flies this one into right field, he's retired. Catch is made by Sammy Cruz from Brunswick, New Jersey. Yeah, I believe that was Danny Schweitzer. He's retired at the bottom of the order. And Schroeder to the plate with Hoekness on first.
Next
one
up,
out.
shortstop
Carroll
number
leading
6, Andrew Schroeder.
12-0, top of the 6th. Strike 1 to start the at-bat. Carroll did not score in the top of the 5th. It's the first time the Merchants have been held scoreless in an inning. They led this game 3-0 after 1. As Hoekness, short liner to the shortstop. Jenkins and the throw to Prater in time for the double play. Second double play of the day, both in the previous 2 innings. Peak Prospects escaped the inning with no damage done.
Their half of the 6th inning, no runs, 1 hit.
Carroll does lead 12-0, though.
Left.
We head to the bottom of the 6th after this.
The field of strength and conditioning is extremely dynamic and always changing. We understand that time is of the essence, and athletics are more competitive than ever. The one constant in our profession is the client. Our number one goal at Peak Performance is to make each and every individual stronger, faster, and more powerful in whatever sport or fitness level they choose to participate in. We take pride in offering both personal and team instruction, attention to the smallest details, and challenging the positive and encouraging environment. The sport-specific training regimens are preventative in nature. As strength and conditioning professionals, we are entrusted with the care and guidance of individuals from across the country and even some elite world-class athletes. At Peak Performance, we not only improve your athletic performance, but we also focus on instilling confidence and an overall sense of well-being that carries over to everyday life. Give us a call at 515-577-7901 or visit us on the web at peakperformancesportstraining.com.
Bottom of the sixth, Peak Prospects still down by a score of 12-0. Still Hokeness on first. We get your defensive changes updated.
Right field, number 3, Danner Schweitzer. And entering the game to pitch, number 32, Cannon Frazier.
So Cannon Frazier will pitch for Carroll, number 32. He's a left-hander. And then playing in right field will be number 13, Danny Schweitzer, who came in to pinch hit and ultimately replace Kyle Berg in right field. Third pitcher of the day for Carroll. Christensen started. Brander's retired. So it'll be the 3, 4, and 5 for the Peak Prospects instead of Sammy Cruz heading up to the plate for Des Moines. As Cruz looks at the opening pitch from Frazier to begin the bottom of the sixth with Des Moines down 12-0 for ball one. 1-0. Kevin Javier will enter the game after this for the first time today. Normally plays at third base. Strike one called, 1-1.
The lights on, Mary. They're working. Yeah. There's a couple of bulbs out.
Strike two called on the low right corner. 1-2. Here's the 1-2. Called strike three. Cruz retired. And instead of Nick George, it will be Kevin Javier up at the plate.
Pinch hitting, number 28, Kevin Javier.
Right-handed batter from New York City. Played at Clark this spring, out in Dubuque. Des Moines down 12-0, bottom of the sixth. Javier looks at ball one, 1-0 to start the at-bat. Prater is warming up in the on-deck circle, the starting first baseman today. Strike one called, 1-1.
And then Monday the 11th. The Grays and the Saints.
It's the 1-1. Called strike two on Kevin Javier. 1-2, one out. No runners on for the Peak Prospects here in the bottom of the sixth. Prater swings through for the strikeout.
Next up, the first baseman, number 35.
Those two
Nick
strikeouts
Prater.
to begin the bottom of the sixth with 2 outs, no runners on. Nick Prater to the plate. Des Moines still down 12-0. Jenkins is warming up in the on-deck circle. He's a starter as well as Prater. We've seen some pinch hitters, defensive changes today for the Prospects. Here's the pitch. Ball one outside, 1-0. Frazier, 2 strikeouts now. He's from Houston, Texas, played at Fort Scott Community College. He started out with a 2-0 count now on Prater. Frazier stands at 5'11". Fifth appearance on the year with an ERA of 4.76 and just 5.2 innings pitched. As Prater flies it to deep left, caught Caleb Freeman for the flyout.
Top of the sixth inning, no runs, no
Top
hits,
of the
no
seventh,
errors,
Peak
no errors
Prospects trying to avoid being run ruled. They're down 12-0. We'll see what Carroll can do. They've gone scoreless the last 2 innings. We'll be back in just a moment on Mixler.
My Shiro doesn't always wear a cape, but she always has time for a hug, a smile, for going the extra mile. My Shiro stretches every dollar, puts in long hours, puts others first. But now it's your time, Mom. When you're ready to retire, we want you to be able to enjoy it. Get free tips to help boost your retirement savings now at aceyourretirement.org.
A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Farming is dangerous.
If you love them enough to listen to them practice the same song on tuba,
Please be done.
over and over and over and over and over, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Sounds good, honey.
Check today at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Neil Armstrong waited 6 hours.
12-0, Carroll leads. Top of the seventh. Your run rule is if a team leads by 10 or more after 7 innings, the game's over. So Carroll here could extend the lead, but they don't need to. They just mainly need to hold Des Moines from scoring enough runs to make the lead less than 10.
Leading off the inning for Carroll, the center fielder number 3, Michael Alt.
Michael Alt, the center fielder, will lead off for Carroll. This will be his 5th plate appearance of the day. So far has walked twice, singled. Should be 2 for 3 on the day. Inside 1-0. Herrera does remain on the mound for the Peak Prospects. He is the 5th pitcher used today. Ben George was the starter. Owen Brock replaced him. Mike Bonner made an appearance. Sedovic came in, grounded foul, 1-1. One and two. 1-2 misses, ball 2 on Alt. Ground ball goes towards the second baseman, Nicow, who slides, kicks it off his legs. Alt to first. It'll be a pinch hitter entering the game, number 26 for Carroll.
Pinch hitting, number 26,
Hunter
Reed.
Replaces Ingram, who was the starting third baseman. Ingram has a runner on first as he flies it to deep left. And it lands on the warning track. Alt runs to third, and we'll stop there standing. Reed to second on the double, with Carroll leading 12-0, no outs. And instead of Freeman coming to the plate, it's Noah Duttler.
Pinch hitter, number 40, Noah Duttler.
And Duttler looks at ball 1. Duttler from Plainfield, Illinois, played at Luther College this season. Ball 2-0 with runners on second and third, no outs. That's Reed on second, Alt on third. Here in the top of the seventh. Breaking ball called strike one. Outside 3-1. Swing and a miss. 3-2 on Duttler. The payoff. Swing and a miss. And Duttler retired on strikes. Runners stay on second and third. That's Reed and Alt respectively. One out. Carroll leads 12-0 in the top of the seventh.
Now batting the second baseman, number 4, Jordan Mathewson.
Jordan Mathewson to the plate. He's not a pinch hitter. He was the starting second baseman. Bats with his left. Reminder of the outfield. Straightaway is 370 in center field. The left field pole is 329. The right field pole, 266. There have been no home runs today, as Mathewson fouls the first pitch off 0-1. A stark contrast from the last time we had a game here for the Mink League. It was Des Moines and Clarinda. Here's the pitch. Mathewson looks at a breaking ball for strike two, 0-2. 6 total home runs. Clarinda had 1. Des Moines had 5, including a grand slam. Won that game 15-3 in 7 innings. Run ruled that one. We await the 0-2 to Mathewson with runners on second and third for Carroll on the way. Mathewson bats it foul. Keeps the count at 0-2. Noah Busts, the starting catcher, is warming up in the on-deck circle for Carroll. Quick timeout from the batter, Mathewson. The 0-2 outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Mathewson. A reminder to join us tomorrow. First pitch in Clarinda at 7 p.m. And then a doubleheader starting at 4:05 in Carroll on July 4th. Fly ball, right field. It lands. There were 3 defenders there who could have come up with the catch, but instead Michael Alt will run home and score. It's 13-0 Carroll. Reed to third. And Buss to second.
Now batting for the Merchants, catcher, number 12, Noah Buss.
All right, so 13-0, 1 out, runners on second and third. Carroll leads here in the top of the seventh. Herrera the pitch. 1-0. Fly ball, center field. And the catch is made. Runners on second and third do tag, however. Reed will run in and score. That's Hunter Reed, who pinch hit in the inning. And it's 14-0 Carroll in the top of the seventh with 2 outs.
Next up, the designated hitter, number 21, Garrett Freeman.
Garrett Freeman replaced Rochester at the DH position to the plate with 2 outs. Carroll up 14-0, top of the seventh. One runner on. He's on third right now as Herrera directs the breaking ball, but it goes outside. 1-0. That is Mathewson on third. In the dirt. Freeman holds up his hand, says, "Don't go." That's not Caleb Freeman, by the way, who started. He's actually been replaced today. Just a reminder, that's Garrett Freeman. Fouled back, 2-1. Garrett Freeman from the state of Nebraska. The 2-1 is on the way. He flies it up into center field. And the overhead catch made. And the side is retired. 2 more runs tacked on by Carroll. Bottom of the 7th. Des Moines needs to score 5 to avoid the run rule. We will return.
In their half of the 7th, they score 2 runs
live
off of 3
on
hits.
Mixler.
There were no
The field of strength and conditioning is extremely dynamic and always changing. We understand that time is of the essence, and athletics are more competitive than ever. The one constant in our profession is the client. Our number one goal at Peak Performance is to make each and every individual stronger, faster, and more powerful in whatever sport or fitness level they choose to participate in. We take pride in offering both personal and team instruction, attention to the smallest details, and a challenging but positive and encouraging environment. The sport-specific training regimens are preventative in nature. As strength and conditioning professionals, we are entrusted with the care and guidance of individuals from across the country and even some elite world-class athletes. At Peak Performance, we not only improve your athletic performance, but we also focus on instilling confidence and an overall sense of well-being that carries over to everyday life. Give us a call at 515-577-7901 or visit us on the web at peakperformancesportstraining.com.
9:21 p.m. local time, bottom of the 7th. Peak Prospects down 14-0 at home in Rippey, Iowa against Carroll. Spencer Bone with you here on this gorgeous evening in Iowa. I'm originally from Nashville, well, south of Nashville, Tennessee. That is where I live. I'm spending 2 months here in Iowa to do this broadcasting gig, and I have loved it so far. Des Moines, Iowa, very laid back. Des Moines is a pretty rapidly growing metro area as well. U.S. News and World Report actually ranked it as the 14th best city to live in the country. Peak Prospects have to score 5 to avoid being run-rolled here in the bottom of the 7th. They're down 14-0. We do have a new pitcher in. That's Sam Hansen, the right-hander for Carroll. Schweitzer moves from right to left field for the Merchants. That's Danny Schweitzer. In right field, Noah Duttler. And Hunter Reed goes to third base, replacing Parker Ingram. Looks like those should be the only defensive changes, at least that I've been able to gather. Prospects down 14-0. They'll have the 6, 7, and 8 to start the inning. Jenkins, Zielinski, and Morales. Outside 1-0. Peak Prospects, bit of a tough stretch for them. They've lost 3 of their last 4. The beauty of that is the amount of games you do get to play. They're only about halfway through their season. Maybe a little bit more. Had some games canceled, though, as well, or postponed potentially, so we'll see how that all unfolds. 2-0 to Jenkins. Mink League All-Star Weekend is coming up as well. Fly ball from Jenkins to center field. Diving catch missed. by the right fielder, Duttler. Jenkins running from first to second. This could be a triple. He's going. The throw is not in time. Jenkins with just the second hit of the day for the Peak Prospects. He makes it all the way to third. Des Moines is down 14-0.
Now
Here in the bottom of the seventh.
Rhett Zielinski.
Rhett Zielinski to the plate, the right-hander with Jenkins on third. Peak Prospects still looking for their first run today. Here in the bottom of the seventh. A reminder that your run rule is in question. To the dirt it goes on the first pitch, but Jenkins will stay. It didn't go far enough. Reminder, new pitcher Hansen on the mound. Iowa Central Community College, that's where Hansen pitched at this year. He is from the state of Iowa. 1-0 to Zielinski on the way. Outside 2-0. The 2-0. Missed it. 3 balls, no strikes on Zielinski. Morales, the catcher, is warming up in the on-deck circle. Inside, and Zielinski heads to first base. So it's Zielinski on first, Jenkins on third. Des Moines is down here in the bottom of the seventh, 14-0. Looking for its first run today, the number 8, Diego Morales to the plate. Bryce Hall does head to the on-deck circle to warm up.
I just sent it to coach and I'll text him. You don't write the bus bill? Okay. Okay, gotcha. Here we go. You go, bad up 20. I will send this.
The pitch. Called strike one. Low in the zone. 0-1 to start the at-bat for Morales, with runners on the corners for the Peak Prospects. No outs here in the bottom of the seventh. If the Peak Prospects lose by 10 or more, or are down by 10 or more at the end of this inning, game's over. Strike 2 called on Morales, 0-2. The 0-2. Fouled. Keeps the count at 0-2 for Diego Morales. As I mentioned earlier, essentially joined the team this week. Was with the team for the first time yesterday, rode on the bus. Here's the 0-2. Outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes on Diego Morales. Carroll 14-12 this season, 3-0 against Des Moines. Peak Prospects 12-11 as they play their 4th game out of 7 games during a 5-day stretch. Bounces up in the dirt, ball 2. Morales, after starting out 0-2, now has 2 balls in a row, 2-2. Zielinski on first, Jenkins on third. Peak Prospects looking for their first run today, down 14-0 with no outs. As the catcher, Noah Buss, will head over and talk to Hansen, the 4th pitcher of the day for Carroll. Peak Prospects have used 5. Two and 2, 14-0, Des Moines down. Here's Morales at the plate. He's back in after the conversation between the catcher and pitcher.
They've been nice to be
2-2. And the dirt outside, 3-2. Full count on Morales, no outs. Hall at the bottom of the order is next for Des Moines. Right-handed batter Morales. Here's the payoff. Ball 4, bases loaded for Des Moines. Big Prospects down 14-0 here in the bottom of the 7th as Morales started out with an 0-2 count and now has a free trip to first. Zelensky moves up to second. Jenkins up to third. Here's a mound visit. So we will have a quick conversation up at the mound. Peak Prospects down 14-0, but have the bases loaded with no outs. They have to score 5 or more runs to keep this game going. And as we continue our mound conference, let's step aside for this quick message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Text and whatever. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
14-0 Carroll. Bases loaded for the Peak Prospects of Des Moines here in the bottom of the 7th. Morales just walked. Hall at the plate. Outside 1-0. Carroll scored 12 of the first 4. They were blanked in the 5th and 6th. Fouled away by Bryce Hall. Drops the count to 1-1. Ball and a strike. Hall is 0 for 2 today with a strikeout and a flyout. 2-1. Hansen, the 4th pitcher, entered the inning for the Merchants. Runners on all 3 bases for the Peak Prospects. Had a leadoff base hit from Jenkins. He ran all the way to third. And then 2 consecutive walks. It's 2-1. Hansen delivers in the dirt. Hitters count to Hall. The ball here would give Des Moines its first run of the day with a 3-1 count on Bryce Hall. And Taichi Nikau does warm up in the on-deck circle, the number 1 batter in the order for Des Moines. Here's the pitch. Lifted up in the air by Bryce Hall, left of center field. Catch is made in left field. Jenkins will tag at first, but then retreat back to keep the bases loaded. 1 out, and Des Moines still down 14-0. So the flyout from Hall. Here comes Taichi Nikau.
Next up, the second baseman, number 3, Taichi Nikau.
Eli Collins is in the on-deck circle. Big Prospects scheduled to have Tuesday off. I'm sure they'll be looking forward to it too. This has been perhaps the most grueling part of the schedule. Here's the pitch. And called on the outside, 0-1. One out, bases loaded. Hansen does seem to be calibrating here for Carroll. On the way, Nikau drives it to deep left. And it lands on the track. Here goes Jenkins. Here goes Zelensky. And Des Moines puts on its first 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th, down 14-2. RBI single from Taichi Nikau. Morales does advance to second. So 1 out, Eli Collins up to the plate. Des Moines down by 12. Still has to score 3 more to avoid the run roll here in the bottom of the 7th. Collins called for strike one on the low outside corner. Collins, a right-handed batter. 0 for 3 today. Inside, 1 up, 1 down to Collins. In the dirt. Runners will not advance. 2-1. Good stop there from the catcher, Buss. The 2-1. Outside, 3 up, 1 down. 1 ball away from loading the bases. Peak's already had the bases loaded once in this inning. 1 out right now. Des Moines down by 12 in the bottom of the 7th. Collins at the plate. The pitch. Ball 4, bases loaded. So Morales will advance to third.
Now batting the right fielder, number 28, Kevin Javier.
McCow goes to second. Collins to first on the walk. And that brings up a pitching change. It's 14-2 in favor of Carroll here in the bottom of the 7th. Des Moines needs to score 3 more to keep the game going and take us to at least the 8th inning. We'll be back in just a moment.
The field of strength and conditioning is extremely dynamic and always changing. We understand that time is of the essence, and athletics are more competitive than ever. The one constant in our profession is the client. Our number one goal at Peak Performance is to make each and every individual stronger, faster, and more powerful in whatever sport or fitness level they choose to participate in. We take pride in offering both personal and team instruction, attention to the smallest details, and a challenging but positive and encouraging environment. The sport-specific training regimens are preventative in nature. As strength and conditioning professionals, we are entrusted with the care and guidance of individuals from across the country and even some elite world-class athletes. At Peak Performance, we not only improve your athletic performance, but we also focus on instilling confidence and an overall sense of well-being that carries over to everyday life. Give us a call at 515-577-7901 or visit us on the web at peakperformancesportstraining.com.
New pitcher for Carroll, Zach Nelson, number 19. He's the 5th pitcher of the day for the Merchants, who hold a 14-2 lead here in the bottom of the 7th. Des Moines has scored its first 2 runs here in this inning, and now have Collins on first, Nikau on second, and Morales on third. Both Jenkins and Zielinski scored on the RBI single from Nikau. So Sammy Cruz, who replaced Cole Yearsley, will head up to the plate to bat in just a moment. He goes to Bloomfield College. We've seen him already today, back in the 6th inning. So this will be his 2nd appearance. He struck out looking. He'll be followed by Kevin Javier, the new DH, who struck out swinging back in the 6th. So bottom of the 7th, bases loaded, 1 out for Des Moines. Peak Prospects down 14-2. Thank you to those of you who have joined us on YouTube and Mixlr today. We will carry our own live stream on Mixlr, audio only, tomorrow. Clarinda will have a video stream available. Cruz, the right-hander at the plate. try and keep this game alive for Des Moines. A reminder of the run rule. It's a lead of 10 or more after 7. The game's over. Cruz swings hard but misses. Strike 1. He had a home run in this building. Drove it up center field, which is 370 feet. And he says he hit that one at least 390. I don't remember exactly how far it looked from my vantage point. 1-1 is the count on Cruz following the ball. This is Nelson's 7th appearance. He has 1 start on the year. He's pitched in 14 1/3. His ERA is 5.02. Nelson from Pinehurst, Texas, left-hander, played at Fort Scott Community College this year. Here's the pitch. Cruz lines it up the middle. That will drop for a base hit. And running home from third to score the 3rd run is Diego Morales. Bases will remain loaded. Collins goes to second, Nakau to third. Peak Prospects down 14-3 with 1 out in the bottom of the 7th.
Now batting the right.
Beautiful piece of hitting from Sammy Cruz. Kevin Javier up to bat. The pitch, Javier swings but fouls right to the ground. 0-1 to start the at-bat. They have players on this team from both sides of the country. You have Prater from the state of Washington. You have Javier at the plate right now from New York City to be exact. The 0-1. Javier lifts it up. Shallow center. Will not drop on the play. Runners have to stay on all the bases. Javier with the fly out to center field. 2 outs. Des Moines has to score 2 more to keep the game going. They're down 14-3 in the bottom of the 7th. Run rule in effect if they don't score at least 2 more. Here comes Prater to the plate. 9th batter of the inning. This has been the most productive inning for the Peak Prospects, obviously, but they've scored 3 runs after being blanked through 6. Prater had a big 2-run home run against Nevada a couple weeks ago to put the Peak Prospects up 7-6. They held on to that lead. That was, if I remember correctly, in the top of the 9th. Bases loaded. Cruz on first, Collins on second, Nakau on third. As Prater looks at ball 1, 1-0. Join us for pregame coverage at 6:50 tomorrow. Mixler.com/Peak Prospects, or you can download the Mixler app on your phone. Take us on the go. The 1-0. Outside 2-0. Prater launches it deep right. Oh my goodness, that is a grand slam. It is a 14-7 game with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th, and we will live to see an 8th and potentially a 9th inning. You've got to be kidding me. 14-7 the score.
The shortstop, number 5.
And as they always say, it's not over till it's over. Bases empty, Leighton Jenkins to the plate. Again, 14-7 now with 2 outs. The Peak Prospects have put up 7 runs in the inning. So it's Leighton Jenkins for the second time today. He swings and misses, so we will get a top of the 8th in a game that has lasted now 2 hours and 41 minutes. And a very high pitch there. Goes over the catcher and hits the wall. 1-1 on Jenkins. Carroll hasn't even scored this many runs in 1 inning this game. That's not to take away from what they've done. They've been fantastic today. Swing and a miss from Jenkins, 1-2. Second grand slam of the year for Des Moines. Both of them have been in this park. Remember that right field pole is 266 feet. Jenkins, swing and a miss. And the inning is over, but we will see an 8th inning. And Des Moines down now 14-7. Carroll still with a pretty good cushion right now. We'll see what happens in this 8th inning when we come back. But that grand slam, though, with that 14-3 deficit, has kept the Peak Prospects alive.
If you love them enough to turn off your music and pretend like their music is your music,
This is Mommy's jam.
then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Let's play it again.
Check today at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
We are back, and we are looking at a pretty lopsided matchup, Jim.
That's right, Ron. I mean, in one corner, we've got a 175-pound guy, and in the other, a 6,000-ton heavyweight train.
Jim, this guy has no idea what he's getting himself into.
It's no contest. Every day, people tempt fate and die trespassing on railroad tracks. See tracks, think train.
Well, if you decided to leave the broadcast for some reason and came back, Des Moines was down 14-0 going to the bottom of the 7th. They scored 7 runs, which included a grand slam from Nick Prater with 2 outs. They're down 14-7. So we continue to play ball. Peak Prospects had to score at least 5 to keep this game alive. Spencer Bone with you here on this beautiful evening in Rippey. Sun has set, still a very faint pink horizon, but the light's providing all the light here on the field now. By the way, in left field for Des Moines is Zielinski. He was the starting right fielder. Cruz went into right field.
Leading off the inning.
I don't know if he's been replaced or not. Brett Hoekness to the plate. We continue to play ball. Chad Herrera does remain on the mound, the 5th pitcher for the Peak Prospects. A ground ball picked up by Jenkins from the shortstop position. The throw to Prater's in time. That'll retire Hoekness, the leadoff batter. And instead of Berg,
next up the left fielder, number 13, Danner Schweitzer.
Danny Schweitzer up to the plate, who's playing in left field. So 1 out. Carroll does lead 14-7. Here's the pitch to Schweitzer, and called strike 1. Reminder that Chad Herrera primarily plays in the outfield for the Peak Prospects, usually a starter when he does. Ball 1, 1-1. He had not pitched entering the day, at least not for the Peak Prospects. The 1-1 breaks up and down in the zone, 1-2. Carroll scored 3 in the first, 4 in the second, 2 in the fourth. In the fifth, tacked on 3 more to take a 12, in the fourth, tacked on 3 more to take a 12-0 lead. Led 14-0 in the middle of the 7th, and the Peak Prospects scored 3 and then 4 with that grand slam from Prater. The 2-2 deep drive left field. Zielinski able to stop, make the catch for the out. That is the least hitter-friendly part of the park is left field, 329 at the pole. I guess technically center field is, but relative to the dimensions of this field compared to other Mink League parks, it's the most standard dimension because it's 370 in center field. It's 375 in center field at Sedalia and 290, if I remember correctly, in right field. 2 outs, no runners on. Carroll does lead by 7. First pitch in the dirt underneath Morales. 1-0 to start the at-bat for Schroeder. Swung on, foul tipped. 1 ball, 1 strike. Breaking ball, batted up, and a shallow right. It'll drop for a base hit. Schroeder with 2 outs is on first, with Carroll leading 14-7 with 2 outs. Top of the 8th. Michael Alt, the center fielder, to the plate.
Next up,
for the
center fielder,
6th time
Michael
today.
Alt.
He's had a walk, a single. He's gone out in the 4th. He had a single back in the 7th. They'll look at strike 1 with a runner on first. 0-1 to start the at-bat. Runner goes. The throw is not in time. 1-1 is the count on Alt as Schroeder makes his way on the stolen base to second after the 2-out single. Alt lines it into right field, and running from third, heading home, Schroeder, the throw. He might get tagged. They called him safe. They must have said that Morales missed the tag. It's 15-7. Schroeder was able to run away from the catcher.
Number 26, Hunter Reed.
Back to an 8-point game. Good throw. Morales just couldn't make the tag. Good base running there from Schroeder. And Alt on second with the RBI. So 15-7, Carroll leads, top of the 8th, 2 outs. First pitch is outside, 1-0. They got a base runner on second. It is Hunter Reed at the plate. He was not a starter today. He pinch hit back in the 7th and is the third baseman as well, replacing Caleb Freeman. Reed lifts it foul, 1-1. If Carroll scores 2 more, the run rule goes back in effect. Right-handed batter Reed, 1-1 count, 2 outs. Reed fouls it up and back, 1-2. That one goes back to the road that goes around behind the stadium. And there's one person back there to chase it down and pick it up. The 1-2. Check swing. Strike 3. Carroll does tack on another run. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Big Prospects down by 8. They scored 7 in the previous inning. We'll see what they can do here when we come back.
If you love them enough to listen to them practice the same song on tuba,
Please be done.
over and over and over and over and over, then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Sounds good, honey.
Check today at NHTSA.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
54, so it's too late to start saving for retirement, right?
Not right. Starting to save, even in your 50s, can really make a difference.
Right now, saving seems hard to wrap my head around.
AARP makes it easy. Go to aceyourretirement.org and chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach. It's free and only takes 3 minutes.
I like 3 minutes.
Answer some questions and get personalized tips to help boost your retirement savings.
Thanks.
Just head to aceyourretirement.org. That's aceyourretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
15-7, Carroll leads. It was 14-0 in the middle of the seventh. Peak Prospects put on 7 runs that included a 2-out grand slam from Nick Prater. Rhett Zelensky heads up to the plate for the Peak Prospects. He walked in the previous inning, eventually scored. 9:54 p.m. local time. Game started at 7:02. We've gone from a possible run rule
Left fielder number 18, Rhett Zelensky,
to Des Moines being down by 8. Still Nelson on the mound, by the way, as he'll pitch strike one, the outside low corner. 0-1 to start the at-bat to Zelensky. Des Moines has not won a game against Carroll this year. 0-3 against the Merchants. Outside 1-1. Zelensky started in right field. He's been moved to left field. Nelson, the break even. Called strike 2. It's 1-2 on Zelensky. Morales has just entered the on-deck circle. Nelson delivers the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Zelensky retired. Carroll needs 5 more outs, leading 15-7 over Des Moines. Bottom of the 8th, and for the Peak Prospects, Diego Morales to the plate. He walked in the previous inning, also scored eventually. Prater's grand slam scored Cruz, Collins, and Nicol, by the way. Peak Prospects had put on 3 runs up to that point in the inning. As Morales looks at ball 1, it's 1-0. The 1-0, swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. Run rule is not in effect at this point. We will play a 9th inning. 2-1. One out, no runners on for Des Moines. Here's the pitch. Outside hitters count for Morales. Three balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Nelson delivers. Ball 4. Des Moines has a base runner on, down 15-7 with 1 out. Here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Up next for the Prospects,
Bryce Hall to the
number
plate.
4,
He flew
Bryce
out
Hall.
for the first out of the inning in the previous, or back in the bottom of the 7th. So Morales on first. Zelensky was retired on strikes. Here's the pitch. And Hall fouls it away. 0-1 to start the at-bat. Here's the 0-1. Ripped foul, rightwards, and bounces up, misses a car by a few feet. If it hit it, I couldn't tell, but it looked like it wasn't going to. 0-2 to start the at-bat for the number 9 batter, Bryce Hall. He's been in that spot the entire game. Center fielder today. The 0-2. Hall watches it go inside, 1-2. He's got a runner on first right now. Hall lets it fly, called strike 3. 2 outs, runner on first. Des Moines is down 15-7, bottom of the 8th. And Taichi Nakao, who had a 2-run RBI back in the bottom of the 7th to put the Peak Prospects on the board, heads to the plate. Nakao lets it go inside 1-0. The 1-0 fouled to the side. 1 ball, 1 strike. One up, 1 down. Nelson delivers. Couldn't find it. 2-1. Strike 2 called on the outside of the zone. 2-2. 1 more strike would end the 8th and take us to the top of the 9th with an 8-point Carroll lead. Morales did run to second. So stolen base, and now Nakao will ground it. Second baseman Mathewson picks it up, completes the throw to first. Hopeness with the catch. The inning is over on the ground out. Big Prospects, no hits, did not score a run. Still down by 8 as we go to the top of the 9th on the Big Prospects Sports Network.
To protect his home and family from disaster, Steve used courage, wisdom, and his camera phone.
That should do it.
Way to go, Steve! By simply taking digital pictures of his family's important documents, Steve can always have them stored safely online, no matter when disaster strikes. Learn other simple ways to protect your home and family before a natural disaster at ready.gov. That's ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
Unlike other health concerns, mental illness is not always easy to see. Depression won't show up on an eye chart, and you won't find PTSD by looking at a thermometer. Sorting out a mental health concern takes professional diagnosis and treatment. Anxiety won't just go away under a bandage. If you or a loved one has a mental health concern, call 1-800-662-HELP for free and confidential information and treatment referral. Learn more at samhsa.gov/support.
Top of the 9th, Chad Herrera is still your pitcher for the Peak Prospects, who are down 15-7. They were down 14-0 going into the bottom of the 7th, scored 7 runs. Couldn't get anything going outside of a walk and a stolen base from Diego Morales.
Putting out the top half of the 9th inning for Carroll, right fielder number 40, Noah Duttler.
Noah Duttler to the plate. Herrera the pitch. It's batted up foul behind and will land behind the concession stand. 0-1. Duttler appeared in the 7th inning. He replaced Caleb Freeman. As he rips it to right field, and it lands, bounces off the fence, and he has a leadoff single at first. No outs. Carroll's got a runner on first.
Second baseman, number
Mathewson,
4,
the
Jordan
starting
Mathewson.
second baseman, heads up to the plate. Mathewson bats the first one to the side, foul. 0-1. A reminder today that Des Moines did have its second grand slam of the season. This time it was from Nick Prater. Inside, 1-1 strike on Mathewson. Herrera delivers the 1-1. It's fouled away, 1-2. Good thing I didn't park too close to the stadium. That one rolled into the soy field next to the park. There's 2 kids chasing it down right now. Good luck finding it. 1-2 is the count. Runner on first, no outs for Carroll. Upstairs, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Deep fly ball, right of center field. Bryce Hall makes the catch for the out. And Duttler will retreat back to first. 1 away. Carroll does lead still, 15-7 here in the top of the 9th. Runner on first is Duttler and Noah Buss.
Next up, the catcher, number 12, Noah Buss.
So Buss will watch the first pitch for strike 1. It's 0-1. Mathewson retired on a flyout shortly before this. Here's the 0-1. Outside, 1-1. This is the first time, as I mentioned in the previous inning, that we have seen Chad Herrera pitch this season. Normally plays in the outfield. He's given up a few runs, but overall, I mean, not too bad. Decent command of the zone. Fifth pitcher of the day, the starter, was Ben George, his first appearance on the season. Just joined the team earlier this week, brother of Nick George. Fly ball, shallow center. Hall lets it drop, base hit. So Buss on first, Duttler on second, 1 out. Carroll leads here in the top of the 9th, 15-7. And for the Merchants, Freeman up to the plate. That's Garrett Freeman, not Caleb Freeman. Caleb Freeman's day is done. Herrera unloads. Caught the outside of the zone, strike 1. Here's the 0-1. Fouled up in the air beyond right field. Will spare all vehicles. 0-2. Ripped to right field. Right fielder cannot make the catch. Sammy Cruz who dropped it. And the bases are loaded.
First baseman, number 7, Brett Hopeness.
So Buss goes to second, Duttler to third, Freeman to first. Bases loaded, 1 out. Carroll leads 15-7, top of the 9th. Hoekness, the number 8 batter, starting first baseman, is at the plate, the right-handed batter. For Carroll. He looks at strike one. The umpire was ready to make that call before Morales even made the catch. Here's the 0-1. Grounded. Jenkins able to make the catch. Throws it to Nikau at second. The throw to Prater is complete for the double play. So no runs scored. Bases were left loaded for Carroll. We head to the bottom of the ninth. The Peak Prospects down 15-7 here on Mixler.
The field of strength and conditioning is extremely dynamic and always changing. We understand that time is of the essence, and athletics are more competitive than ever. The one constant in our profession is the client. Our number one goal at Peak Performance is to make each and every individual stronger, faster, and more powerful in whatever sport or fitness level they choose to participate in. We take pride in offering both personal and team instruction, attention to the smallest details, and challenging the positive and encouraging environment. The sport-specific training regimens are preventative in nature. As strength and conditioning professionals, we are entrusted with the care and guidance of individuals from across the country and even some elite world-class athletes. At Peak Performance, we not only improve your athletic performance, but we also focus on instilling confidence and an overall sense of well-being that carries over to everyday life. Give us a call at 515-577-7901 or visit us on the web at peakperformancesportstraining.com.
Well, the man who retrieved the ball just came up and told me that Prater's grand slam back in the bottom of the seventh traveled 375 feet. The right field pole is 266. It did go leftwards of the pole a little ways, so the fence is probably a little bit deeper there, but still deep grand slam there from Prater. Landed on someone's driveway. And by the time he picked up the ball, it was over 430 feet away from home plate. Peak Prospects down 15-7 as we hit the bottom of the ninth. It's still Nelson on the mound for Carroll. Des Moines has outscored Carroll 7-1 since that 14-0 Merchants lead. Put up 7 in the bottom of the seventh. Still Hoekness on first, Mathewson on second, Schroeder on third. At least I think so. I know Schroeder at shortstop, I believe. And then Reed on third. As far as the outfield goes, I can tell that Duttler is still there. I keep forgetting to pick up a pair of goggles. All right, so we begin the bottom of the ninth. Peak Prospects have to find a way to score 8. They scored 7 in the bottom of the seventh, but Carroll looking at a 15-12 record, assuming they're able to hold on to this lead here. Des Moines would drop to 12-12 and will have lost 4 of its last 5. Eli Collins, it'll be the 2, 3, and 4 for the Peak Prospects as Collins fouls that first one right behind him. And it's 0-1 to start the at-bat. A reminder, Des Moines plays tomorrow at Clarinda at 7. We'll have that on Mixler. They play a doubleheader at Carroll starting at 4:05 on July 4th. Low and outside, 1 ball, 1 strike on Collins. Cruz does warm up in the on-deck circle. The count is 1-1. Fouled by Collins. 1-2. Should be Collins, Cruz, and Javier for Des Moines. Here's the 1-2. Ground ball and a chopper, and it goes past the first baseman. He whiffed that one pretty badly, and Collins is on first. Should have been a routine out. But instead, Des Moines has a runner on first base.
Now batting the right fielder, 26.
Big Prospects still down 14-7. No outs. Collins on first. Sammy Cruz to the plate. Had a single back in the 7th and scored on that grand slam from Prater. In the dirt on the first pitch, 1-0. Collins will retreat back to first. Two and 0. Big Prospects' next home game is on Wednesday. That'll be played in Boone against Chillicothe. In the dirt, it hops up off the ground. Collins will run to second and will stop there. So Cruz now with a 3-0 count, and you've got Collins on second with Des Moines down 15-7, bottom of the 9th. Nelson, your 5th Carroll pitcher on the mound. Carroll is 3-0 this season against the Peak Prospects. All 3 games were played during the first 5 games of the season for Des Moines. As Cruz looks at ball 4, will get a free trip there. Bases 1 and 2 have runners off the error and the walk. So it's Collins on second, Cruz on first. Kevin Javier to the plate. He's 0 for 2 today, a strikeout and a flyout. Javier entered the day batting .325 with an on-base percentage of .451. As he pops it up foul. And that one will land, and somebody will go back to retrieve it. 0-1 to start the at-bat. Runners on first and second. Peak Prospects down 15-7, bottom of the 9th with no outs. Nick Prater, who hit that grand slam, is on deck. If the bases are loaded, that would be terrifying. 1-1 is the count. Ball 1 on the upstairs pitch from Nelson. Again, that was measured by the man who went to retrieve it. He said he went on, I think, Google Earth or Google Maps to measure it. He told me 375 feet that ball traveled. The 1-1 in the dirt. 2-1. Javier, strike 2. Two balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Runners on the first 2 bases. Javier from New York City. The pitch. Javier lifts it into foul territory. It'll go out of play. Towards the Carroll crowd. Lands right in front of them. There's a few Carroll Merchants faithful on the wall next to the grandstand behind home plate. And it landed in front of them. Glad everybody's okay. Count stays at 2-2 for Kevin Javier with no outs. Runners on first and second for the Peak Prospects. They're down 8 here in the bottom of the 9th. Haven't scored a run since the 7th. They scored all 7 of their runs in that inning. Here's the 2-2. Javier watches it fly. Ball 3, full count on Kevin Javier. Be careful, Carroll. The pitch. Ball 4, bases loaded, no outs. Des Moines is down 15-7, bottom of the 9th. Javier with a free trip to first. Cruz to second. Collins to third. No hits here in the inning, and the Peak Prospects have loaded the bases. an error, and 2 walks. Quick conversation at the mound. A reminder that today's broadcast is made possible in part by Peak Performance Sports Training, located in Urbandale, Iowa. Peak Performance takes athletes to a new level. Visit them on the web at peakperformancesportstraining.com or visit them in Urbandale, Iowa. So bases loaded, no outs. Des Moines is down here in the bottom of the 9th, 15-7. And Prater, who hit the grand slam to put the Prospects down 14-7 earlier, is up to the plate. A reminder, center field is 370 feet, the left field pole 329, the right field pole 266. He hit that grand slam towards right field. I will say nothing else. Nelson remains on the mound for Carroll. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. 0-1. You know Prater wants it. The pitch. Prater, ground ball. Slow roller. It's picked up. The tag is applied to Javier running to second. The throw to Prater. Cahockness, I should say, forces Prater out. That's a double play. So 2 outs. Des Moines down 14-7. Make that 14-8. A run did score. That was Collins who scored. Cruz makes his way to third. He's the only base runner on. So Peak Prospects do get a run despite the double play as Jenkins swings and misses. 0-1 to start the at-bat. Reminder, the Peak Prospects, if this result holds, which obviously with 2 outs, very likely at this point, they drop to 12-12. They still got 3 more games over the next 2 days. Carroll would improve to 15-12. The 0-1 to Jenkins. Called strike 2, a beauty from Nelson. Zelensky would be your next batter for the Peak Prospects, pending an out. Outside, 1-2. It's a beautiful evening in Iowa. It's expected to be a low of 63. Swing and a miss. Ball game. Peak Prospects were down 14-0. They tacked on 7 runs in the bottom of the 7th, but it wasn't enough. Your final score, Carroll improves to 15-12. 4-0 in the season series against the Peak Prospects. They win this one 15-8 in Rippey, Iowa against the Des Moines Peak Prospects. Join us tomorrow. Pre-game show starts at 6:50 p.m. Central Time. First pitch at 7 from Clarinda, Iowa. This has been a presentation of the Peak Prospects on Mixlr and YouTube. Good night, everybody. We will see you tomorrow.